I wasn't live yet. Now I see. All right, we live on the YouTubes. We are live on the YouTubes, y'all. What's good with it? Shorty Banton, thank you. Appreciate y'all, man. Today should be good. Today should be another good one. It's kind of are men paying more for groceries and rent than women are? No. Of course they're not. We're gonna get into what it is. We are going to get into what it is. Yesterday we had an interesting fellow up here, and he said some things that made me want to host this live. So here we are. We're gonna have this discussion. I just got the alert live on the twos. The first guy on live, yes. Yeah, exactly, Shorty. The first guy was wilding. So what do you guys think? The divide, the economy has never been worse for men versus the economy has never been better for women. What are you guys thinking? Let me know. Let me know how y'all feel. Financial abuse. Let me know what y'all think. I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking in a minute. I'm curious to know what are you guys thinking about that? The economy has never been worse for men versus the economy has never been better for women. Yeah. Yep. Women do get paid less. I think so. Let's look at this from a historical context. In 2024, even with all the the economy is still messed up, and the economy is and we know all, like invisible women, like the book talks about. We know about all the like hidden fees, the pink taxes, all of this stuff. We know that it's more expensive for women than men, right? Don't compare men to women. Don't do that. Compare women in 2024 versus women in 1984 versus women in 1964 versus women in 1944. That's what I'm saying. So the economy for women has never been better. It hasn't, right? In so many ways. I don't know if you guys could tell me some sweet spot in 1993 to 1997 or something like that. I'll take it. But generally speaking, the economy has never been better for women. For women, it has never been better for women. Women are still oppressed. That's not even a debate or a discussion. It's comparatively, right? Women are like, to women, this is like easy light work. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because women been so oppressed for so long, and it's been so hard and so heavy. Like I was saying, I made this analogy before. It's like women have been walking around with like 10,000 pounds of oppression on them in this country for forever, for the whole, since the inception of the country, right? Now y'all got like 7,500 pounds of oppression on you. It's still a ton of oppression, but it's 7,500. Men, I'm just going to, black men, whatever. We already know black men, we were super duper oppressed, but just most men in this country, because most men ain't black. But most men in this country, they were walking around with 1,500 pounds of oppression on them, right? Now they walking around with 3,000 pounds of oppression. And to them, it's still double the weight. They still were weaker. They're not built for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not built for this. They're weak. We only been walking around with 1,500 pounds of oppression. Now we got 3,000. Now we got 4,500 pounds of oppression on us. It feels like a ton of, oh my God, the world is crumbling. It's all coming down. Oh my goodness, what do we do? Now, once again, if we compare men to women, of course, we know women are still at a disadvantage. We know. But when you compare men to other men of previous generations, men have it worse. We have it way worse than we had it in 2004, in 2084, in 2006. We have it worse now. We have less opportunities now. We have less upward mobility now. For women, it's the opposite. Women have more upward mobility. Women have more access to money. Women have more access to education. Women are getting these things. And yes, it's still terrible. There's still a lot, but that divide, that is a large divide that's going on for men and women. And it's seemingly what it's doing is it's causing men to have this reaction of, which is our go-to, to punch down on women. That's our natural reaction, is to blame women. Our natural reaction in all of this, like that gentleman was saying yesterday, our natural reaction is to start blaming women for this, not understanding that women are still more oppressed than men, that women still got it hard, that, you know what I'm saying, all those things. And historically, look at, you know what I mean? Look at what women have gone through and yada, yada. Like, ignore all of that. They don't even care about. All they know is now the economy is what, and even if you don't know, what I'm saying is people feel it. Even if they haven't like actually looked any of this stuff up, that we can see it. We don't need to look it up. We can see, men can see that our granddaddies could buy homes, but we can't. And then you juxtapose that with single women buying more homes than single men, and you're like, oh shit. So women is like, shit. I mean, all Americans should be able to buy more homes. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's, once again, that's not the discussion. But to women as a group, there, you know, women also saw like, well, my mama couldn't buy a home of her own, and my granny couldn't buy a home of her own, and her mama couldn't buy her home on her own. But here I am buying a home on my own as a single woman. So to a lot of women, it feels like, yeah, it's bad, but it ain't as bad as it was 30 years ago. This is easy for me. I could do this right now, right? I could do this. We still got to keep going forward, but I could do this. I could do this right now. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? My granny had it way harder than me. My auntie had it way harder than me. Like, I think that's how a lot of women are seeing this. But men are like, damn, look how easy my granddad had it. Look how much easier my great granddaddy had it. Look how much easier my uncles had it. That is a very stark divide. That is a very, 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 very stark divide. The divide is there. That's not for me. I won't even debate that. The divide is there. But women didn't have anything to do with the divide. It's not women causing the rift at all. That's the problem. And that's what we got to address. It's not that women didn't mess up the economy for men. They didn't mess up the economy for men. Whatever women started to do, whatever rights women got, it made it better for men. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it works. If the most oppressed group gets more rights, then the people that weren't as oppressed, they get more right. They get more freedoms and stuff like that, right? So when women get stuff, men get stuff too. When black people get stuff, white people get stuff too, right? So I don't want to hear that women made men's lives harder. No. They didn't. They're not doing that. That's not what's going on. The divide, this part, the wedge between men and women has nothing to do with women. They didn't do it at all. I'm going to break down the two groups that are doing it, right? The one group is the ruling class, right? I won't say the managerial class even. I would say the political ruling class, right? So you have the political ruling class, aka the oligarchs, the capitalists, the bourgeoisie, right? Let's call them the bourgeoisie. So you got the bourgeoisie. They're men mostly, honest, 99.9999999% men, right? Okay, cool. There's one or two women in there, whatever you want to say, for those of y'all that like, it ain't all me. Okay, cool. But it's 99.99999% men. Okay. And then you have the proletariat. Nah, not uppity folks, because I know some middle class ain't nobody more uppity than a middle class person that used to not be middle class. They the most uppity motherfuckers on the planet. But that's neither here nor there. And then so you have the bourgeoisie, right? And then you have like half of the proletariat on the side of the bourgeoisie, and that half of the proletariat are the men. The men are the working class men are the people that are upholding the bourgeoisie, right? So I saw this quote somebody put. They said we set up the knife and then we ran into it, right? We set up the knife and then we ran into our own knife. We knifed ourselves, pretty much, right? So men, it's men at the top, men at the middle, and men at the bottom that are all upholding the system. And the men in the middle and the men at the bottom, instead of focusing on the bourgeoisie, focusing on the political ruling class, focusing on the capitalists, we're focusing on the very women that were raised in the same houses we were raised in, that slept in the same size rooms we slept in, that ate the same foods we ate, went on the same vacations we went on, the women that we married to, the women that we're trying to date. Like, instead of us punching up, we're punching down on those women. That is the problem. That is the problem. Men are frustrated in so many ways for so many reasons, but none of them have anything to do with women. I'm saying women didn't cause the issues. That's all I'm saying. They're a part of the issue. They're a part of the issue in your mind, meaning men desire access to women and women are denying you access. So yeah, you can say in that aspect, they're a part of the problem. You can say that. I'm okay with that. In your mind, that's how you look at it. Cool. But it's not them, though. It's not that they're denying you access. It's just that you don't have access. And that's a problem. I'll allow that. I'll allow that for now. Cool. You want access to women, they're denying you access. That is a huge problem. That is a huge problem. We get it. For you, not for them necessarily. For you, that is a huge problem. I get it, right? I'm on y'all team. I'm on your side. I'm completely tracking everything that's going on with me. Cool, right? And you guys believe that if you had more money, if you had more money and you had more resources, then you would gain more access to women. Okay. I'm with you. If you get more money and you get more resources, you will gain more access to women. I hear you, brothers. I hear you. Now, who has the authority? Who has the access themselves and the ability to do that, to give you more money, to give you more financial freedom? Women who live in the same neighborhood you live in, fighting for the same jobs you're fighting for, competing with you in school, trying to be head of the class right along next to you. Those women, or the bourgeoisie, the political ruling class, the capitalists, the men at the top. Who has the ability to actually affect change there? The men, right? The men at the top do. That is where our fight should start, and that is where our fight should end. It can't be, y'all can't be mad at women because they've been walking around with 10,000 pounds of oppression. And through a lot of fighting, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of unalivings, a lot of all types of stuff, grapes and, DV, all the things that are going on, intimidation and coercion, and all of this stuff that women are facing, they shed 2,500 pounds of the oppression, and it's starting to feel a little light to them. And they're doing better. And they're on the uptick compared to men, and men are on the downslide. There's no reason for y'all to turn around and blame the women. That's crazy. That's wicked work. Blaming women because you don't have a job, because you didn't get some job that you felt like you deserved. How does that work, brother? How does that work, fam? How do you blame a woman who's not hiring who doesn't own the company, doesn't make the policies, how are you blaming that woman for you not getting the job? It's the same thing that blows my mind about people who talk about like illegal aliens and illegal immigrants and all of that stuff, and they don't want them here and all of that stuff. And I'm always like, you do realize that if you don't want them here, you know, you can just go to the political ruling class and the oligarchs who want, because they want them here. And you do know that you could go tell them, you could say, hey, Foster Farms, we will not buy any of your products as long as you're using illegal immigrants to farm your land. You can say that to them. And I bet you they will stop. Hey, Foster Farms, hey, Farmer John's, hey, whatever agricultural behemoth in this country, hey, Kroger, who I don't even know. I'm just naming companies that got a bunch of food. Hey, if you want me to continue shopping at your stores, you have to stop using slave labor. If you stop using slave labor, I'll go back to shopping at your stores. But for the time being, I'm not shopping at your stores anymore. Okay. Look at Rick already saying stupid stuff. Y'all don't know how the economy works. Y'all should stop. y'all should stop. Y'all should stop. That's not how that works. I want you guys to know that's not how that works. You don't know how inflation works. You guys should like go read about inflation. That's not how it works. No, it wouldn't go up. It wouldn't go up. How it would work is I'm going to do a side quest to educate these dudes, because y'all don't understand how it works. No, it wouldn't, LJ. Why it wouldn't work that way is because the profits would just have to get reduced. That's how it would work. So whatever the cost, whatever the difference is in cost, it will be taken off of the CEO salary, and middle management and upper management or whatever. It would be shaved from their salary. You're saying they're not finna do that, but what would they do if we don't buy it? Use your brain. What would they do if we don't buy it? Y'all just saying stuff. It's the same, y'all. That's that same illogic that be telling people if we raise minimum wage, all the McDonald's prices are going to go through the roof, and they didn't. It's happened many a times. You can go look it up. It happened in Australia, and they raised the minimum wage in Seattle. They raised the minimum wage in New York. Prices didn't go up. Prices didn't go up. You know when prices went up? When they skyrocketed during the pandemic. You know where that was from? Over 60% of the inflation was due to greed. They called it greedflation. It was just going right into the pockets of the CEOs. That's all. They were just stealing money from the people and saying that it was, what can you do? There's a shortage. So you got to follow that. You guys got to follow that lot. You guys don't understand how inflation works. You don't know how the economy works. That's not your point, Rick. You don't have a point. The point is the people can dictate to the companies, hey, we're not going to buy your stuff if you don't do what we want you to do. That's the point. You just assuming that, they're going to think about it. I want y'all to really think about it. I want you guys to really think about it. If they just jacked up the prices, nobody would be able to afford it. Like, what? What are you not understanding? If the prices went up, if apples used to cost $4 a pound for organic apples, and they skyrocket to $22 a pound, nobody will be able to buy the food. I don't know what to tell you. They know that. So there's only so much it can go up. It's only so much it can go up, brother. And since most of these industries are subsidized by the American government, we also could put pressure on the American government. The American government subsidizes the meat industry, brother. That beef that you ate, that's $10 a pound, and that's expensive. It should really cost you $32 a pound, because beef is not a sustainable source of food. Right? The amount of food and water that it takes to feed cattle so you can have a Kobe steak or a round chuck roast or some stuff like that, it should be closer to like $32 a pound. Right? That's y'all, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all don't know. But the American government subsidizes the industry, so it's cheaper for us. So it's cheaper for the consumer, so we can afford it. They can do the same thing. Even if they were going to do that, even if those companies were going to raise those prices, we can just look at the government and say, hey, well, you got to pay the difference. You got to pay the difference. Arguing economics with people that don't understand economics is crazy. What up?
So I get the point you're making. The point I'm making is I don't think the American people are going to stop buying food in order for them to not jack up the prices.
Yeah.
Like, I get everything you're saying. I just don't think people are going to do that. I don't think people are going to stop going to the grocery store. And my point is, yes, they can get rid of all the illegals, but once you hire people who are going to demand more money, they're going to use that as an excuse to jack up the price like they did during the pandemic. I'm not saying it's right. I agree with what you said, but I'm saying what's going to happen is they will jack up that price and pass it on to us.
They won't. And it's already been proven that they won't. So I don't understand why you guys just keep saying that. I know that's fear mongering. That's what they tell you. I'm telling you that it's been proven that that's not what happens. Like, people are not shopping right now, and the companies are lowering the prices of the food because people aren't buying as much stuff as they used to. And they're clocking it and they're like, oh, we over adjusted. Right? They pushed the greed too far, and people said, "Nah, I'm good," and they lowered the prices on the food. I don't know what to tell you. It's already happening in real time. I already gave you the example.
Prices is going through the roof out here, brother. I'm in DC. Food prices has never been higher. I don't see where they lowering these prices for anybody.
You should go read it. You should go read about it.
I could be misinformed, but where
I'm at,
I don't see them lowering nothing.
I know, but you should go read about it instead of saying where I'm at, they're not lowering the price. Like, you haven't looked it up. You haven't looked into it. And I get it. I'm not even knocking you, bro. Understand what I'm saying, Rick. Most people don't, what up, B? Most people do not understand that. They truly don't understand the economy. I'm not an economist at all, obviously, but I understand certain things about the economy, and I know, and I understand fear mongering tactics fairly well. When they say stuff like that, when they say like, oh, if you do this, then we gonna do that. Like, that's just fear mongering. They're just telling you that to keep you, scared and not trying to do anything. But I'm telling you, the way it actually works is, if you say it, by the way, I never said get rid of the quote unquote illegals. I said we will stop buying the food if you employ slave labor. If you use slave labor, we will just stop buying your products, right? So just to finish that thought, I would say that we my solution would be fast track especially if they're working, if they're already in the factories, fast track every single illegal or asylum seeker, as I like to call them, fast track them to their path, on their path to citizenship. Give them their cars, give them whatever they need to do, and then pay them as if they were Americans. You ain't got to I'm not saying go hire a bunch of Americans. I'm saying make them Americans. They're here working in America. They're paying taxes in America. They're doing a service in for Americans. Make them Americans if they want to be. If they don't, then whatever.
If they work and do, I agree 100% with that. I just find it hard to, not even find it hard to believe. What I'm saying is, once you do that, any excuse you give them to say we can jack up the prices and further align our pockets, that's what they're going to do. Just like you said with the pandemic, They gave all the people all that free money, and everybody was just stealing it. I don't see a way where this goes where it benefits us without them lining their pockets. Like I don't see it. I could be wrong, like I said.
Yeah, and that's cool, Rick. And that's cool. If you scared, go to church though. Okay, if you don't want to fight against it, that's what I'm saying. Men are so scary, man. We are so afraid. Oh man, if they do that, we're gonna y'all will do anything to keep the status quo. Like any logic that you need to like trick your mind into believing, or lack of information, like if you can avoid like actually like learning about systems of oppression and learning how the systems work, like you will do all of that rather than go, like you will argue with me and tell me, hold on, Rick, hold on. Y'all will rather argue with me and tell me how something ain't gonna work when A, I see it work all the time, and B, you could just go look it up for yourself. You would rather argue with me and shut me down. Oh no, they ain't gonna never work. Oh no, they ain't gonna. Oh no, they do that, man. Oh no. Like, stop being so fucking scary, bro. We got this.
I like arguing with you. It's just entertainment for me. I love arguing with you. You could have been right 100%, and I'd have found a way to argue with you.
I don't know, man. That's a weird statement. I would never say that out loud. I don't know if you know that ain't a good look.
Hey, whatever.
That's being disagreeable. You proving Prince Seller right, fam. I be fighting every day for y'all to not prove Prince Seller right. But y'all be proving Prince Seller right. Saying I would argue with you even if you were right literally proves Prince Seller right. That's nasty work.
Is that the chick that was dating that one lady? Then I don't know. Is that's the chick with the hat?
Yeah.
See, I don't pay attention to her. But like, this is all entertainment for me. But in the case of the food thing, if you're saying this works, then I agree with you. If you're saying it works and it works, then cool. I'm all for lowering all the food prices. Like, because shit's ridiculous out here. Shit's more expensive than it's ever been, like I said. I just don't see a way. If you're saying it works, then cool. I'll do some research. I'm working right now, so I can't. But I'll look it up. But if you're saying it works, then cool. I just don't see a way where they're going to do it where it's going to benefit us and they don't get rich off of it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I feel like anything you give people an excuse to like make money off of, like, hey, we got to jack up these food prices. And in actuality, they really don't have to. They're just saying they're doing that. They're using that excuse to like increase their bonuses.
Rick, you missed what I said though. It's literally happening right now. That's what I'm not understanding. There's natural consequences. See, not everything has to be this like protest. Like, we don't always have to organize and come together. Sometimes, a lot of times, stuff just happens naturally. There's natural consequences to things, right? So
it's like the Jordan shoe thing.
What do you mean?
So Jordan releases a certain number of shoes. Sometimes they miscalculate the popularity of a shoe, and they end up slashing the price from $200 to $50 because nobody really wants the shoe. So like you're saying, if people aren't buying as much food and they're slashing prices, that means there's a profit margin there that they're trying to that they can afford to cut into.
Yeah, people, you know it's crazy. Prices got so high that eating out became less expensive than buying food in the store. That's how crazy it got for a minute. And they saw that and they were like, oh shit, we might have overcorrected. And now they're adjusting. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. There's just natural consequences. So somebody telling me, oh, this won't work. I'm like, it won't, especially, and that wasn't even a concerted effort. That's what I'm saying. That was just people being like, I'm about shit. This shit is too expensive. I can't afford to buy all the shit I need. Now, mind you, Americans waste like 40-50% of their food. You know what I'm saying? Like, we waste a lot of food. So a lot of us cutting back was just us not wasting food. We just made sure we ate everything in our refrigerators. You know what I'm saying? Like that. A lot of it was just that. Don't get me wrong. So we could stand. We could stand to do that, right? Same thing with these. Like, people will be shocked how much food we waste. You don't need that much. You don't need all that stuff. We just be buying it. We go to Costco. We buy a big ass box of macaroni and cheese. And it's 19 is 19 individual cases of 4 cases a piece in that motherfucker. Like, it's just crazy. Oh man, we need this. You got a family of 4. You buying a big ass box of mac and cheese. Y'all eat mac and cheese 3 times a week. Like, shit is wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, we waste a ton of, especially fresh food, produce, things of that nature. It's going down the drain, bro. Them apples is rotten. Them bananas done turn black. You know what I'm saying? That them salads, you open them up. You ate half a bag. Now they fermented. You can drink them now. They wine now at this point. You got a bunch of wine in your refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? You got beer and shit in your refrigerator. Like, it's crazy. it's crazy the amount of food we waste. So a lot of people just like, shit, well, I'll just eat what we got. Because Americans is the kings of going grocery shopping and then buying and then going out to buy food the same day. We the kings of that shit.
No, yeah, we do a lot of that. Like, I used to work at Waffle House. So I used to see, like, and what always was wild to me, like, food that we didn't use that was about to go bad, they wouldn't let us just give it away. We had to throw it out, which was crazy to me, but I don't know why I don't work there no more. But I get what you're saying. But like I said, at some point in time, somebody's going to line their pockets and we all going to lose. But if you're saying it's working, it's working.
Yeah. I don't like that approach, but yeah. Just saying somebody going to get rich. Okay. Still, so what? People always getting rich in this country. It's a capitalistic country. It doesn't mean that we can't change. It doesn't mean we can't change things. But anyways, yeah. So I went on a side quest. I told you I was gonna do that. I knew it was gonna happen. I'm back on it though. So the divide, the divide is there. There is a divide. There is a divide, and it shouldn't be men versus women. It should be working class people versus the bourgeoisie. It should be the proletariat versus the bourgeoisie. But instead, it's the bourgeoisie plus working class men and middle, you know what I'm saying, and the political ruling class versus women. Like, that's crazy. And even with that being the case, women are still doing better than they were as a group collectively 50 years ago, right? Whereas men aren't. I won't say all men.
I was going to say, it depends on which group of men you're talking about. Because I think black men are doing better than they were 50 years ago, just by way of, like, rights and shit. Like, dudes ain't getting crosses burned in their yards no more. Dudes aren't getting, you know, the other thing. So I think we're doing better, but there is room for improvement.
Yeah, I would like to look up the number because I would say I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what year. Maybe the 70s, maybe the 80s. You know, there was a time. I don't know. But overall, men in this country are not doing better than they were 50 years ago. The economy is not better for men now than it was 50 years ago. It's harder. It's more competitive.
That I agree with. It's a lot harder for like dudes to be like quote unquote dudes than it was in the 1940s and 50s. Like that shouldn't even be an argument.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. But for women, it's exponentially easier and it's better in so many ways. And men are mad at women because women are seemingly thriving, right? If you compare women of now to women of 50 years ago or women of 30 years ago or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's
night and day. Like my grandma, God bless dead. I can't say that. God bless the unalive. Mm-hmm. When she was coming up, she couldn't have a bank account. The only way she could do things was to have my grandfather. Now, granted, my grandfather was like a decent person, according to what they said. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't like any like other stuff that you hear about. But my grandfather, part of that might have been because my grandfather was also paraplegic. He was a what do they call them, paratroopers? Mm. I think he broke his spine in like World War II or something, so he couldn't walk, all this other stuff. But like my grandma and my mom have said the things that they couldn't do growing up. And a lot of that was because my parents grew up in the South, so they had to deal with being women and like the race issue. So like when people had these conversations, like I understand where the women folk are coming from. Like, and 30 years ago, I couldn't even have a bank. So what you think I'm gonna do now? I'm about to throw this money just like y'all do. And hey, live your life, sweetie. Do what you want to do with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, women are just in an objectively better place in certain aspects. In certain aspects, they're not. Obviously, they lost their reproductive rights in a lot of states. But economically, they got a little bit more freedom. You know what I'm saying? Educationally, they got a little bit, little bit more freedom. They got a little bit more freedom. It's not for me. That's not to me. I don't really want to focus on that so much though, because that's not what it's about. What I'm more focused on is the fact that men are blaming women for the positions that men are in. And that's the dangerous part. Right. And men know better. We know it's not women's fault. We know it's not their fault. But we're just too afraid. We're too afraid to punch up. So we're always punching down. Like you was just trying to do, Rick, like with the like, oh, you know, like men always gonna find a way to excuse themselves from the fight. Oh, well, you know, I mean, it's too scary. Oh man, we do it. Somebody gonna get like we gonna make up some excuse to wiggle out of the fight.
So with the rich thing, my only issue with that is I watched what happens, and then like
what's up, Ben?
With the bank bailouts. Remember they bailed out the banks?
Yep.
Because they did all that, and then all the CEOs got rich. Like they all used the money that they got from the bailout to like fund their bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my fear about something like that. That's my issue. Is like I feel like if we do come up with a solution, they're gonna just line their pockets with it anyway. That doesn't mean don't do anything, but I would like there to be a way to make sure that the benefits are going to the right people. Like I don't want to. If food prices go up 5% because we're paying people more, I don't have a problem with that as long as it's going to the people who are actually doing the work. I don't want to pay $5 extra for my carrot and the CEO buys a new Bentley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the average CEO, he's getting so much of them. Like you talking about those bonuses when you do the math on that, it's like, oh, you could pay, like they were talking about like Jeff Bezos, if he like gave up.
He could pay everybody.
Yeah, it's not, it's crazy. Like everybody can get a $60,000 bonus. Like you don't, these people are just robbing people blind. So the money can come from them. Like they'll be fine, bro. Them making $2-3 million a year as opposed to making as opposed to them making $150 million a year.
If it's coming from them, cool.
Yeah, it will come from them. It has to. I don't believe that I don't believe in this idea that, oh, they're just gonna just pass on all the whatevers to us. Like I don't buy into that. I think that's cap. The right people are white team men. Y'all really naive if you think the system is not working like they want. Who doesn't think the system is working the way that they want?
Sorry about that. I had a phone call for work. My bad.
You good? Yeah.
Nah, so like I was saying, like if it's coming from the CEOs, then cool. I just know people in power aren't gonna like. What I want to say is gonna get your live band, so I'm gonna just stop there. But yeah, like if it's coming from them, I'm all for it, bro. I'm not paying $3 more for grapes so you can buy a new airplane, my boy. Like money coming from you, I'm good with it.
Yeah, it'll come from the CEOs. I don't even worry about that. And that's the same thing. And we need to do the same thing, you know, I'm saying the same approach needs to be taken for women. The same approach needs to be taken when we talk about, you know, getting equity or whatever for women. It should be the same approach. You know, instead of us being mad at women, we need to be getting upset with the CEOs, and we need to be getting upset with the stockholders and the BlackRock, and you know what I mean? Like those are the people that we need to be going to, you know, not women. Like men are mad that like single women are outpacing single men in home, you know, and buying homes. And, you know, they're like, oh man, they're outbidding me for this home and but really it's BlackRock that's buying all the homes. You know what I'm saying? Let's go fight that.
You got a second for a house buying story?
Say what? A second for a house buying story? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm in the DC PG County area of Maryland, and I went to try to buy houses like during the pandemic when everything was cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my lady were out bidding on houses, going $20,000 and $30,000 over house budget, over the asking price for the house, and then freaking Zillow, BlackRock, freaking I can't think of the other one. Redfin would come in and just buy the house for like twice the amount of money that the house was worth.
Yep.
And my question is why? Because at some point in time, you're gonna have to make your money back from this house, and you can't rent it out for what you paid for it. So what's the plan? Is the plan to make everybody broke? Or like,
yeah.
Cause I was sitting there thinking, we ended up buying a new build, so it ended up working out for us. But if you're buying a $500,000 house for $800,000, your mortgage is gonna be twice what it should have. 30% more than what it should have been. So that means even if you try to rent it out at the bare minimum, somebody's paying $6,000-$7,000 for rent. Who can afford that?
They're not renting the places out though. Not right now. They're just waiting. They're just sitting on it. They're just sitting on it, and what's the saying? You'll own nothing and love it. That's the goal. They're gonna own all the homes, and then you're gonna have to go to them eventually, and they'll get their money back in tenfold. They're not even worried about it. It's just a waiting game for them.
They should. We need a vote on that. Have something where you can't buy a house unless you're like a citizen or something. Something. They gotta fix that because that's crazy.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing though. But instead of us being mad at them, right? A lot of men are upset with women. Like, oh, these women buying up all these homes, like all these women getting these jobs. Like, you're mad. Hold on, Rick. You're mad. A lot of men are mad because they can't get a job or they feel they're entitled to a certain job and they're blaming women for getting the job. But whole time, okay, if there's not enough job opportunities and you feel like you're a viable candidate, then be mad at the companies for not creating more jobs. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean? And then also let's make it to where every job you work, you make enough money to buy a home. Like, I don't care what job you work, you should be able to afford to buy a home. I don't care if you work at McDonald's. I don't care if you work at Waffle House. I don't care if you work at Denny's. I don't care if you are Amazon delivery driver. I don't care if you do gig work. If you work 35 hours a week, you should be able to afford to buy a home. Period.
Yeah, that I agree with. Like, if you work a full-time job, regardless of what it is, you should be able to afford a home. Unless you're like 12 years old and working. Like, you're a child. Like,
why would a 12-year-old child be working 35 hours a week, bro?
That was exaggerating the 12-year-old thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like, I agree with you. If you're working a job, you should be able to afford a home, and people should not be mad at women because they're getting houses. Like, if you're mad at a woman because you didn't get the job or you need to look in the mirror, because that's not an issue. I've seen that happen where a dude doesn't get a job and he's mad because they hired some lady. Then you look at their actual resumes and she's actually more qualified than him, and he's still upset. So, like, I see what you're saying. I dig what you're putting down. Yeah,
it's a lot. There's a lot of that going on, and that's not something that, you know, that's just not something that we need to be focused on. We don't need to be focused on what women are doing as far as like buying homes and, you know, whatever else. Like, women should, whatever they're doing like that, you know, they're fighting tooth and nail to do what they're doing. And I just think that is ridiculous, how the amount of men that are upset at the women and not upset at the system, and not upset at the people who act, you know, the actual people who have the control over the system. I think that's the thing that really frustrates me about this stuff. It's like, y'all know that these women ain't doing nothing to hurt you. You know that the women ain't messing up your thing or, you know, whatever. But here you are wanting to punch down on the women, and you want to blame the women, and you want to say stupid stuff. I don't know, all types of stuff. The reason why women don't like you is because they think they all want to chase a bag, and they all think they're sexy red, and they all like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is because men aren't economically viable. A lot of the problems of men, a lot of our depression and our frustration is rooted in the fact that we're not economically viable. And I'm not even saying for women. I'm just saying, like, in the economy, we're just not in general, like, we're just not economically viable. And that is frustrating. So they start looking for outlets to take that aggression out. Like, where am I going to, like, oh my God. Oh, and then they see a woman. They're like, oh, we got to attack them. Oh, the reason why she don't want me is because da, 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 da. Like, and then it becomes that. And it's like, but that's not it.
No, yeah, that I agree with some of that. But I gotta run real quick. I'm doing my job, so I gotta like unload somebody. So I gotta go.
Bet. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that going on in this country. There's a lot of that going on. Unfortunately. Yeah, women are easy scapegoats. Black people are easy scapegoats. LGBTQIA folk are easy scapegoats, so on and so forth. The economy isn't good for women. It's just better than it's ever been for women. If you can name a time when the economy was better for women, I'll wait. Like I'm more than happy to have that discussion. You guys can tell me what it is, and I'll listen. But I don't think it's been better. PR, thanks for the super chat. She said, when the women buying single homes, hold on. When the women buying single homes fact comes out online, the comments are flooded with men blaming OF, alimony, and divorce. Exactly. Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, it's not a discussion about if the economy is good for women. Exactly. Women only been free for 50 years. Of course it's better than it was for women 50 years ago. Of course it is. Right? Of course it is. But it's not good. it's not good. And by good I mean it's not equitable, and it's and there's still wealth inequality, and you know what I mean, and all of that stuff. Not better than 2019. Okay, that's in recent history. I'll take that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what 2019 was, but sure, I'll take that. You got banned. 7 says she got banned. Damn. But yeah, that's the issue there though. Right? Like, I mean, 2019, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I don't know. All right. Cool. Cool. I'm not there. There are blips. I'm sure you can say, well, 20, whatever, but this time, this age that we're in, it's better. It is. It's just better. Margarine was $4 instead of not. Yeah, the whole economy went down. Yeah, exactly. The whole economy went down. It's all a problem, and it's all an issue. There's no debate there. What up, Jones?
What, bro?
Chilling.
You got your passport updated?
No. What? I can't go nowhere.
We gotta get our passports updated, bro. It's time to go.
To go? Where are we going?
Fuck up out of here.
Why?
Like, listen, man. At this point, just let the red pillars and the MAGA folks. Let's just let them have it, bro. Let them fight each other and burn the bitch all to the ground.
But they got it already, though.
Just let them have it. You ain't lying there.
They already got it, fam. What you talking about? You want them just to let have it more? Like, what the? They already got it.
It's either we pack them up and send them out, or we leave.
Yeah, it's us or them.
Yeah, we can't co-mingle with these fools any longer.
Nah, man. It's oil and water.
Yeah, we can't co-mingle with these fools any longer. I can't. Every single time I hear, you know what I'm saying, like another man, black, white, you know, or whatever, you know, speak and hear them say the things that they say, I'm just like, you know what?
We're doomed.
If there was ships that would transport us to another galaxy, I'd be on the first one, bro. And I don't care what kind of money it costs.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely on the mothership, but I got a free seat though. Y'all be safe.
Like Earth is ghetto, and I want to leave.
It's definitely bad here. I ain't going. You know what, man? I can't go nowhere. I ain't even tripping. I'm in this thing for the long haul. Unfortunately,
you're in California, bro. It's a hop, skip, and a jump right across the border. If shit get really hairy for you, you out of here.
To Mexico? Nah, I can't go to Mexico.
Yeah. Why can't you?
I can, but I just feel like I wouldn't stop in Mexico. I would go down to Panama. I would just keep going and just keep it pushing straight down to Panama.
Hey, listen, I got a bus already. I'm about to start working on retrofitting it and getting it all, you know what I'm saying, nice and appointed.
Yeah.
And whoever want to hop on the Jones bus with me, we gonna get the fuck up out of here. We're on the first thing smoke.
You got to go to South America. They got allegedly they got a socialist president now, female president. I don't think I looked up her past, kind of iffy, but I like her.
I just want to tell you really quickly before Billy starts talking. I don't like your hat. I really don't like your shirt.
Hey man, this shirt cool as shit. I don't care what y'all say. I feel like a Puerto Rican in this shirt. I feel.
Hey yo, I'm gonna pop some tags.
This is a brand. You don't even know where this came from. This thing looks retro, but it's new. That's what I like about it. And it's polyester. It feels good on my skin. I like it, man. I like this shirt. It feels good. I can sweat in it easily. I can move. It's breathable. You know, when you get old, you start liking the material and shit.
That shirt looks like my dad's a lawyer.
He'll sue.
That shirt looks like I wear boat shoes and boat shoes only.
Hold on, where my shoes at? I don't even got my shoes over here. I wear dunks like pretty much every day and wallabies. I'm a dunk and a wallaby kind of guy. But nah, this look like this ketchup is spicy as fuck.
It looks like my name is Chad.
Definitely a Chad shirt. I'm definitely looking like a Chad.
It looks like this is my first time in Miami, and this is the best shirt I came up with.
This is definitely a welcome to Miami joint, and I ain't there right now. I just came back from
Will Smith video.
Look, hold on. I just came back from Palm Springs, and I didn't wear this shirt in Palm Springs, but this is definitely tailor made from Palm Springs.
You were here and didn't hit me up.
You're in Palm Springs, California?
Oh, Palm Springs. Oh, my bad.
I was like, you in Florida, sir? What you talking about? I was like, you was out in Palm Springs? What you didn't hit me up? What you talking about?
I'll be in LA in a couple of weeks. I think I told you that already.
You haven't?
No, I'll be in LA in a couple of weeks. I got to film some shit.
Oh, bet. Yeah, man. Where you going to be at? Hit me up. No, don't say it on here. But yeah, hit me up, man. Let me know. I'm going to slide through. Let's link up one time for the one time.
Yeah, we can do a dual live.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
I can roast you in real life.
I like that, man. That's good. Yeah, we can really.
What's on the same screen would be for real a problem, though. Like, some people would be legitimately upset. Like, what the fuck is this?
I like that. I like pissing people off in that way.
Powers combined.
What's that shit where they be doing? What's the anime shit where they be?
We're happy and we're singing and we're covered. Give me a high five.
That shit about to be funny, man. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till we do that. That's gonna be lit. I want to do that. Let me know, man. I'll be out there. We'll link up. We in a brain economy. That's why women are thriving. We in a brain economy. That's what they said. What do you think about the prompt, Jones? I said it's the worst economy for men, but the best economy for women. And I'm just speaking historically, women versus women and men versus men, not women versus men.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And a lot of it has to do with, and you hear me talk about this all the time, is these structures that have been set up by men, that men fight tooth and nail, right, to uphold, while simultaneously not realizing that it harms them primarily.
Mm-hmm.
Because anytime, and this is the same for white supremacy, anytime you arbitrarily place yourself at the top of a societal hierarchy,
mm-hmm.
And don't have the skills or the education or the leadership qualities necessary to be at the top of this societal hierarchy, when you begin to fail, or when there's evidence that you are failing, instead of being able to take accountability and or responsibility for the failures, it requires you to blame other people.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, it's women.
Mm-hmm.
It's the queer community. It's,
mm-hmm.
It's immigrants. It's blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? Where women naturally, have always, and I wouldn't necessarily go with the nature argument, but I mean, we can see this historically, but women tend to be more egalitarian in their nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're willing to work with each other, extend a hand out. Hey, let me help you, and do the work that's necessary, to lift themselves up, while men are constantly trying to keep everybody else down.
Yeah.
So they got to work two jobs, essentially. You're working two jobs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're trying to lift yourself up while simultaneously
pushing everybody.
Trying to kick other people, push everybody else down.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the setup. No, I was saying it's a setup. It's double. They're exerting double the amount of energy when if they just focus on lifting everybody up, like while they're lifting themselves up, then it'll just be easier because everybody will just come along with you. You know what I'm saying? And it'll actually push you up too. Like it'll just be like, it'll be like compound interest. You know what I'm saying? Like you're moving and they're moving too. Now it's just easy. It's just fluid. But instead, you're working against progress. And of course, the people on the bottom aren't going to stop trying to get out of the box. You know what I'm saying? And you're just trying to sit on top of the box and keep them inside. So I think that's the issue for me. And I'm just trying to drive that point home because I talk to so many men about this stuff, and they just constantly are on this thing of like, anytime women get something, then men lose something. Anytime women get an inch, men lose a foot or whatever. And I'm like, that's not how it works, fam. Like that's
the point I was making. Like, how did they not see the parallels to white supremacy? How do they not see that that's exactly like, you know what I'm saying, how people who are either consciously or subconsciously leaning into white supremacy, how do they not see the parallels? Like, they think that anytime a marginalized community gets more rights, that they're somehow losing a right. Like, what are you losing?
That's a good question. I don't, when I was talking to a dude yesterday and he said something, but you know, because we're not competitive. We fear competition. We definitely don't want the market to have more people, you know what I'm saying? Like you were in sales, like, you know what I'm saying? We were in sales. And when they would flood the showroom floor, like, you know what I'm saying? For like people that were like, maybe like on the lower, but it's like, man, they just hired 4 more salespeople. No, I know it never bothered me either, but I'm saying like, if you were not a top guy,
if you were that person that was only selling like 7.5 to 10 cars a month, that's an issue for you.
Yeah,
that's a real issue for you because now you got to split. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that that base, the scragglers, as I like to call them. You got to split the scragglers.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So like you do that, and you're like, oh, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, damn, so you're instead of you thinking like, okay, I need to just focus because I'm better than 7-10 cars a month. I'm really a 15 to 18 car a month guy. You know what I'm saying? I just need to focus and I need to, brush up on my product knowledge and, really just get my pitches. Like whatever that is, you don't do that. You go, oh, here they come. See, this is why, this place is not enough car. And it's like, nah, bro, it was you the whole time. It was you.
Whole time.
And that's what men are doing. And that's what men are doing in real time. That's what men are doing. Right. And
is my background noise all right? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, hold on. Is this Abid? Abid?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh shit, this is Abid. Hold on. I had to read the name. I was like, wait, that's my boy name. My boy name is Andrew. What up, Abid? Long time no see.
Yeah, you blocked my main because
I blocked it?
Yeah, I think I was on your live and I started saying something and then you just got pissed at what I said and blocked my main account.
I didn't block you. One of my moms might have blocked you. I didn't block you.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Hey, Abid, does your wife know you're on TikTok? I just want to make sure.
Make that same dumb joke again. Yeah, keep.
Well, it's not dumb. I don't want her come grabbing you off mid conversation. That's all.
So, Abid, what say you, brother, about the prompt? What's good, brother?
I think the left's tried to assassinate one of the greatest presidents of all time.
Hey.
No, Trump is going to
Hey.
Trump 2024.
All right. So what do you got to say about the prompt?
Let's see. The economy has never been worse. It's worse under Biden because he made it worse. When there's more competition, when the market's good, it'll be good for men. It's not about genders or whatever. It's Biden just being a clown.
Let me ask you a question. Did Trump raise the minimum wage?
He gave people more opportunities.
Hold on, wait. Did Trump raise the minimum wage?
You don't need
Did Trump raise the minimum wage?
Not that I'm
Did he even try to?
Don't worry about the minimum wage.
Did he even try? The minimum wage is very important, brother. I don't think you guys know how important the minimum wage is. It's really important. Very, very, very important.
Who can live off the minimum wage?
Exact. It's almost like he gets it. It's almost like he gets it. Right? Exactly. Who can live off the minimum wage? Trump didn't try to do that. Obama didn't try to change it. Biden didn't try to change it. None of them did. None of them did. Hey brother, I am not a Democrat. So coming up here arguing that liberal crap, I don't give about none of that stuff.
Yeah, we do not care.
Couldn't care. You're not about to hear me defend Joe Biden at all. But I'm damn sure not about to let you lie and be like, the economy was better under. It wasn't better under Trump. It was fucked up under Trump. It was fucked up under Biden. It was fucked up under Obama.
The unemployment rate was low.
The unemployment rate is not. Hold on.
The S&P at 500 is higher now, bro. You sound ridiculous.
Yeah, and the unemployment rate.
The unemployment rate was at all-time lows.
Drew, a beat.
It's at an all-time low now.
It is, and the unemployment rate is not a real thing. Just so you know that it's not a scientific thing. Like if you look up how they do, you know, they could, that's what Trump did. He was like, yeah, under his administration, not him personally. He was just like, yeah, we're just not counting these people. Like there's a bunch of people, they just don't count them. They're just like, they're not trying to look for a job, so they don't count. Like, what are you talking about?
Think Biden would have won the last election without COVID? It was COVID that
brother,
saved him.
I don't.
And now he's gonna lose in double.
Maybe Trump couldn't have lied about it, and then he'd have been okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I don't, brother. I know you're a far right winger, right? As an immigrant, aren't you? You're not even American. You're not even in America, aren't you? In Canada?
No, I am Canadian.
You're in Canada talking about Trump winning the presidency. So your racism has no bounds. It crosses borders and everything, right?
Racism, who am I racist against?
Black people, Latino people.
How could I be racist against black people? My wife's black. Unlike yours, shots fired.
But that didn't work though. Free your wife. Free your black wife from your racist ass. What you talking about?
Bro said my wife's black.
Your wife is black and she's abused.
She's not.
Don't give me her wife, bro. Did he token his wife?
He did. He tokenized his own wife. That was crazy.
Yeah. That's wild right there. Wild work. No, but my wife.
Hey man, you know what? And here's the thing. I like a bit being up here a bit. I'm gonna tell you something. You are the poster child for exactly why I don't pay attention to the race of a person's spouse. I pay attention to who they're married to, right? The character of the person they're married to. Because in a way, I do have to look at your wife side-eye for marrying you. Like if you're married, like I definitely have to judge your wife because of who you are. Like what woman would marry a man like that? You see what I'm saying? So regardless of your race, regardless of her race or your race, I'm looking at your character and now I'm like, why would she marry this man?
So you're the one prejudging. I have good character.
Do you?
Yeah,
yeah, you're the one making ad hominem attacks.
Yeah, hey, Adorna made a great point, public. Like misogynists, there's all types of misogynists married to women.
All of them.
Mean that they don't
every man that's married to a woman is a misogynist. What does that mean?
Right.
Oh, I'm not misogynist. I got a daughter. Sir, what? What are you talking about? I know somebody right now that is literally treating their daughter differently than they're treating their son. They're letting their son do stuff and not letting their daughters do the same thing they're letting their sons do. I'm literally watching it right now. Like I saw it. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, man, they're misogynistic. You can't. So I don't want to hear no, oh, I got a daughter. How can I be a misogynist with a daughter? Like that? Super easy. Men do it all the time. So yeah, you're racist. As far as I'm concerned,
racist. Yeah, what did I say that was racist?
Well, you support a racist.
Who says Donald Trump is racist?
The U.S. government.
What makes Donald Trump
the U.S. government that sued him and his daddy twice and won?
Okay, he funded historically black colleges.
Don't care.
And uplifted them more.
He actually lowered the amount of funding per student for historically black colleges.
Yeah, that's like you a bit. That's like you saying. No, he didn't. Hey, Trump saying that Trump funded black colleges is the same as you saying my wife is black. It's the same thing. Who cares? How does that prove that you're not like you're still like? And white people go to black colleges, by the way. They go to historically black colleges. They're not black only colleges. They're just
HBCUs that are predominantly white. They're literally HBCUs that are predominantly white.
This dude tripping. See a bit. You gotta stay out of American politics. Your racism is showing. Because the only reason why you like Donald Trump is because your misogyny and your racism. Stop. And I haven't said this.
All of America's racist too, because he's gonna come back in the election, and you're gonna say everyone who voted him was a racist?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said it the last time.
That's just a liberal trope.
I'm not liberal. That's disrespectful.
It's trope. You just make excuses. No, you're just a communist.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Okay.
we have one fact. We have one fact today.
Well, what was the fact? I'm a communist, Jeff.
He got something right. He got something right.
He landed on something.
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, brother. Hey, man. You know what? The thing is, man, I'm trying to figure out, why do you care about you know what? I do care about what's going on in Canada, because I care about what's going on all around the world. So what's going on in Canada with y'all politics?
Yeah, Trudeau, he's ruining the economy.
Mm-hmm.
He's implementing this carbon tax that's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre Poilievre's going to destroy him in the next election. It's unaffordable to own anything in Toronto anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone in Canada pretty much hates Trudeau. He's at all-time unpopularity.
Ain't he been president? How long has he been president?
Prime Minister?
Oh, Prime Minister. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Since 2015.
Okay. Damn, that's a long time. What's y'all terms? Y'all don't have term limits?
Yeah, but then you can call midway elections, and then it's a minimum 4 years from the next election. So the last election was in 2021. So he made a deal with the other left party to keep him in power till 2025. Then once he has that next election, he's going to lose horribly. And
what did you like about Pierre? Name one policy you're voting for him for.
Cut down the red tape and build more housing. And when you increase the supply, you're going to be able to bring down the cost.
Okay. So he wants to build more homes. Okay.
Yeah, cut the red tape, make housing more affordable, make the economy more affordable.
Wait. Cutting the red tape and building more homes are two different things. So he just made it easier for contractors.
When you cut the red tape, you'll be able to build more, because there's.
I know, but where is he building these homes at?
Everywhere in the country. He'll make housing more affordable. That's the thing.
Wait, but that's what I'm saying. That doesn't equate to that. What do you mean? You're talking about so he's gonna deregulate home, what are you saying? That's what he's gonna.
You cut the red tape.
So deregulation. Okay, so he's okay. Say that. Hold on, wait. Say that a bit. Say he's going to deregulate. Okay, say that, because I'm like, what do you mean cut the red tape? What are you talking about?
Yeah, deregulate.
Mm-hmm. Like a right winger, he's going to deregulate, and it never works. It never helps the working class people when they deregulate stuff. It only helps the wealthy. Yeah, they're not gonna build affordable homes. He's gonna build, if anything, they're just gonna build more high rises and stuff like that. Okay, so that's a lie, but keep going.
You think building affordable housing is the key, man? You want everybody living in squalor, on government assistance?
Wait, what? Everybody?
You want everyone living in squalor on government housing? That's not how you make a good economy. You should want people that be able to afford nice houses and live independent and have an actually.
So wait, hold on, wait. So you're contradicting yourself. You just said he's going to make homes more affordable, and then when I said
affordable housing, like the projects, we don't need projects.
I didn't say projects. I said affordable housing.
Be able to afford good houses.
Hold on, you implied projects. I said affordable housing. Those are two completely different things. I don't believe in the projects, even though I grew up in the projects. I think it was a terrible project. I think it was a terrible experiment. But affordable housing, I'm 1,000% in favor of.
Yeah, my point is, he'll take people. There's a lot of people out there that are young that are stuck in their mom's basement because they can't afford a home because it's just out of reach. So you improve the economy, cut the red tape, and more people will be able to have a better life.
Why don't they pull themselves up out of bootstraps?
They can, but they're brought down by inflation and bad leftist policies that are holding.
How is that a leftist sir? How is inflation? What does that have to? You got to stop throwing buzzwords like leftist policy. Hold on. Name the leftist policy that led to inflation. I'll wait.
Putting in higher costs for red tape with carbon tax. That's another one. Carbon led to increased costs for goods.
Yeah.
100% it does.
What?
Because you're going to charge more. The businesses are going to have to pay more in fuel, and then they're going to pass those costs along to their customers.
What?
Could we relate that to Reagan here in the 80s and when they deregulated a lot of stuff and corporations just made a lot more profit and inflation of the 80s was high with gas and all types of stuff? Can we relate the same thing as that or no?
No, he's not going to allow you to do that, Jeff. He's not going to allow you to do that.
The deregulation that set in place with Trump here and then the inflation that came a year or two after that, which just happened to be under Biden, you know, but it was pointed to that the deregulation of different things that happened here in the U.S. created rising costs, right? Along with the worldwide pandemic. Like, we don't want to skip over that.
We can't skip over that.
Yeah. I would also like to know of when we're going to when we will allow a company to deregulate and make sure that the company themselves are going to put the consumer at the best interest and lower the prices for the best interest of the consumer, or they would continue to keep the housing market high and just profit and pocket the profits, right?
Well, Donald Trump removed consumer protections. Donald Trump removed consumer protections via executive order as soon as he got in office.
Yep.
Exactly.
Donald Trump was deregulating everything when he was like, you get deregulation, you get deregulation.
Yeah, taking all the red tape out is what Andrew wants to call it, and then boom, what will we get? We get stuck. We get stuck with more prices, more money, and minimum wage still $7.25. Nobody can live on it.
I'm just trying to figure out. Andrew, Abid, do you not think that people need to make more money? Do you think?
Yeah, but then it's called create more opportunities, and naturally people will be able to uplift themselves.
What do you mean by, bro? You're just saying words. What do you mean by create more opportunities? What difference does it make how many opportunities there are if the wages are stagnant?
People won't have to work for minimum wage when there's enough demand in the economy.
But
because they don't have the education to get a job outside of the said minimum wage.
Learn to code. I don't know what to tell you.
So you don't got the answer. So you don't care about them. You don't got the answer. You don't care about your fellow working class men and women. You don't care about poor people. The guy you're voting for doesn't care about poor people, and he doesn't care about working class people. And let me ask you a question. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a bit. And this is why I'm going to connect it for you. And who predominantly in America and in Canada, who are the poorest people in those countries per capita?
Are you talking about demographics or what?
Yeah, demographically. Racially speaking, who are the poorest people?
In Canada, it would probably be the First Nations, the Aboriginals. And in the States,
second,
maybe marginalized minorities, maybe Black people.
Yep.
Or Hispanics.
Yep.
Depending on the group.
Yep. Okay. So
it would also be Indigenous people.
Well, he said so. If you don't care about those people, is that not racism?
No, we're going to uplift those people when you create more opportunities.
Why do y'all always talk about opportunities and not actually talk about changing the actual system? Like, I don't want a chance. Y'all talking about giving everybody a lottery ticket. I'm talking about giving everybody $1,000. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want an opportunity to win $1,000. I want a fucking $1,000, bro. Give them the money. What are you talking about?
How about instead of giving people a handout, you build infrastructure?
It's not a handout, Abid. They work. They already work. What are you talking about? They work. You already work.
How about you want to get people working in good paying jobs? That's the thing.
Just pay them more. Abid, pay them more at the job. Just pay them more. And now the job is a good paying job.
That's how. Really quickly. It's not even for a bid. Hey, Jeff, let me ask you a question, bro. Alabama fella.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey,
yeah,
listen.
Jeff.
Hey, yeah. Have white people in America ever gotten a handout?
Well, we can frame that a couple different ways, right? Like, I mean, the skin tone of me gives me a handout as far as giving me it gives me a footing up on marginalized groups of people because the people in power see me as closer to them. So they're like, yeah, man, let's pick that dude. You know, so we call that a handout. Like, that's a handout. And that's what we're trying to actively fight against, right?
Right.
And that's also the money situation. We don't want to pay everybody $7.25. Just make everybody Pay them everybody $15 an hour. Boom, problem solved. Make all the business, pay everybody at least $15 an hour, and then we got a better economy. We got more people wanting to go to work, right? Problem solved.
Right. Would you say that land grants given, you know what I'm saying, to literally millions of white families, and they didn't have to do anything to earn them, would you call those handouts?
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going back to like that sort of time frame. Yeah, settlers and all that type of stuff. Yeah. There's all sort of stories about people that look like me just going to places like Texas and Oklahoma and saying, hey, y'all, this is my land now, and just unaliving everybody that was on that land. And then when you look at it, like I've done all sort of studies on people that own like big ranches, and then you trace it back 3-4 generations, and then they just took the land. They took the land, unalived everybody, and said, it's mine now. They went to the bank, and the bank said, yeah, you the whitey dude? It's yours now? Yep, money. That's good. Yeah.
What about mechanization? What about mechanization grants so that they could, build out a farm on said land after they acquired it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Again, same thing. Also, being able to read, write, know the politicians, know how to get the grants, all that type of stuff, the things that were held away from minority groups, individuals, all that type of stuff on top of that. So the systems might be in place and just say that they're equal, but that doesn't mean that they're equal because not everyone has the opportunity to understand the system that's in place, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that holds everybody out again.
Ain't that crazy?
Corporations that have existed since slavery, like I don't know, Wells Fargo or the insurance companies that insured
New York Life,
slave trade, AIG, and New York Life, getting massive tax breaks, and then being bailed out. In addition to that, numerous times over since the Great Depression. Would you call those handouts?
Handouts every time, right? Free capitalist market until it runs in the ground, and then let's set in some social policies and some bailouts and give the big corporations all the tax dollar money, and let's be socialist then.
Yep.
They love that then when it saves the top dogs, but then whenever it comes to the working man, it's like, oh yeah, y'all just need to work harder. That's all.
Socialism for the capitalists and rugged individualism for, for the working class. But what's crazy is the all of that stuff, just so we're clear too, all of those things also were only given to men, right? Like all of those things were given to men. Like it wasn't like the Homestead Act, like they allowed women to go there and stake there. If you guys ever seen the movie Far and Away, it's one of my favorite movies. It's with what's his name, short dude, you know what I'm talking about, the dude that's he's in that cult now, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Great movie. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, Far and Away. And they do exactly what there's a race, and they put their thing in the ground, and then, oh my God, we won, and this is our land. Like that's how white people was getting land, right? But women weren't getting that land. Black people wasn't getting that land. You know what I'm saying? and then when they did like the New Deal in the 40s, they set that up for white people, to get that stuff. But the GI Bill, white men, like men always, no matter what, even if you want to say as white men, yeah, definitely white men got it, whatever. But the GI Bill also, black men were supposed to get it. We were supposed to get it. We just didn't get it when we. And that's the thing.
It took 50 years.
It took 50 years until they paid us. Until they paid it. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the GI Bill that's crazy. On paper, we were supposed to get it. That's why I be laughing when people be like, what law says that black people can't do this and white people can do that? Or what laws and men say that say men can do this, but women can't do that? And then you look at it and it's like, on paper, they said we were supposed to get it. On paper, they were supposed to, but we never got it. So it don't matter what I'm trying to tell y'all. The only thing that matters is material, right? And when I'm saying that, saying like the only thing, what Abid is saying, that kind of stuff pisses me off to no end. Talking about opportunities and not talking about actually changing people's material world, like material circumstances, are two completely different. Cool. We need opportunities too, right? You need, I want my kids to have the opportunity to go to college if they want to go. And when I say opportunity, I'm saying college should be free. College should be free. So they should have the opportunity to go to college as long as they pass the test and the prerequisites and they get it. Cool. Now they have the opportunity to go to college and not going into $100,000 or $50,000 of debt or whatever. Great. That's okay. Cool. That's an opportunity to go to college. But that's also putting damn near like putting stone cold money in somebody's hand. That's putting $30,000-$40,000 in somebody's hand. You just giving them 40 racks, right? The opportunity is they got to be able cognitively to go to college and perform. Cool. We get that. Same way on your job.
State-funded schools were free until desegregation.
They was getting the white tea people was going to college for free. You know how many white tea men I work with? You go look them up. Actually, I'd work with one of them, but he told me he graduated from UCLA. It just reminded me. Scott Galloway talks about this. But this other dude I work with, same thing. Old cat. His name was Donahue. I remember his last name was Greg Donahue. I never forget him because he was a racist POS. Greg Donahue he graduated from he grew up in my city. He grew up in Long Beach. Racist white tea dude. Moved, whatever. He graduated from UCLA. That dude never would have gotten into UCLA in 2000 something. In 2005, Greg Donahue wouldn't have had a shot at getting into UCLA. And if he did, he would have went into an extreme amount of debt just to go to college, right? But he got to go when it was relatively free, when it was $15 a unit and shit like that, whatever it was. So he went there. Healthcare was free. Like all of this stuff, all these people had all of these opportunities, all of this advancement. And this is what I'm talking about with this right here. Now, the oligarchs they're greedy because they don't care about the working class people. So they're starting to take all of that stuff back, brick by brick. They're building their house up again, right? And men are losing, we're losing a lot in that. We're losing a lot in that race. A lot we are from them. They're literally taking it from us, taking all these opportunities. But it's like growing up poor, right? If you grew up poor like me, when they said it was a recession, I was like, what's a recession? Because I was poor. I lived in a constant recession. I didn't feel the recession. I was already poor. I was already smushed as far as I could be smushed. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. So recession, it didn't matter for me. It didn't change. That's kind of like how women are. It's like, oh man, the economy, da-da-da-da-da. But women, they've been struggling this whole time. It's been a fight this whole time. It's been a battle this whole time. So they like, oh, this is like, what you talking about? Like, it's some people that know how to be poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go back to being poor. Don't, God forbid, I don't ever want to go back to being poor. But I can go back to being poor. I know how to be poor. I'm not going to jump off of, I'm not going to unalive myself. Like, I can go back to being poor. I remember what it was like being poor. It ain't the wild. It's crazy, but we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? That's how women are. Women like, it's messed up, but we've seen worse. My mama saw worse. My daddy saw worse. But for men, it's like a wealthy person getting stripped of their wealth. And you saw what happened in 2008 when white tea men started to lose everything. They started to jump off of the bridge. They started to jump off of the top of buildings. And that's what men are doing right now. We're starting to lose because they're taking our stuff. And men are like, oh, what do we do? Our hair's on fire. Let's start punching down on women. In the Biz case, let's start punching down on poor indigenous people and black people. And let's not care about them.
You're putting tropes.
Stop using words you don't know the meaning of. I'm not putting tropes.
I don't blame any other group for my problems. If I have a problem, I blame myself. That's it. That's the difference between liberals like to scapegoat with everyone else. Oh, it's because of this, because of the system.
Hold on. Stop. Liberals, first of all, neither one of us are liberals. Nobody's scapegoating anybody. If anybody is using somebody as a scapegoat, we can literally look at conservatives. Oh, it's because of the immigrants. Oh, it's because of the queer people. Oh, it's because of, you know what I'm saying? Like quite literally, y'all live in a land of literal identity politics. Like, oh, the immigrants are coming over here, the migrants are coming over and they're taking our job, and you know what I'm saying? They're taking houses and they're being put up in 5-star hotels and blah blah. Like, come on, bro. Let's not talk about scapegoating.
I mean, if you want to open borders policy, that's up to you.
I would just like to point out that you did come in here and immediately started saying the left and the prime minister been in since 2015. He's been messing stuff up, and we need to get somebody else in there to straighten it out because all of this has just been wrong and all that type of stuff. Like, that's literally what your conversation started off at.
Hey, Abid, can I ask you a question? What are black jobs?
There's no such thing as black jobs. Black jobs are the same as white jobs.
Right?
That person gets the job.
That's not true. But right though, there's no such thing as black jobs. Why did Trump say black jobs? What was he talking about?
He just was referring to the community about uplifting the black community.
Nah.
Context of the situation.
Nah. Nah, bro. What? What? That's crazy.
What's uplifting? What's uplifting about that?
That was crazy. What?
No, because there's been a lot of like left-wing cities. You got Baltimore, you got Detroit, and you trusted the left with these cities and said, "Oh, you're gonna uplift the hood." And guess what?
Uplift the hood.
And
Uplift the hood is crazy. Hey, where does funding come from for these cities?
From the government, from taxpayers.
No. So how is funding? You know what I'm saying? Budgeted. Where is it budgeted from?
Municipal governments and allocation of resources.
Okay. So and where does legislation that you know what I'm saying where laws are created amongst these cities, where are they legislated? At what level?
I don't know, like at state level, I'm assuming.
Oh, interesting.
That's crazy.
So while we're on this topic, I'd love to ask Abid, when Trump referenced black jobs, who was he talking about taking said black jobs?
You'd have to ask him, man.
Nah. That's your boy. That's your boy.
Exactly what he said.
You know what he said. That's your boy. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So now that you wouldn't answer the question, and we all know who he was talking about, I would also like to direct him into all sorts of unalivers and rapists and all. That's the people that are coming across the border in Trump's eyes. That's the people.
Mm-hmm.
So who is he referencing on taking those jobs are the people that are bad in society. So he's putting, you said black jobs are uplifting the community, but in Trump's head, he's using black jobs as a proximity to people that are unalivers and rapists and stuff like that. So what does that tell you about the community that he's trying to build within these places?
Man,
apparently he's not holding a lot of value to those, and you're missing that point.
I mean, do you think undocumented workers are good for the economy?
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. If undocumented workers literally just walked off because they did it, by the way. Hey man, remember when because I'm in Cali. I remember when they did in Florida. I remember when they did it in Cali when they like messed up the border during COVID and was like, no, nobody gets in. They were trying to do all that weird strict stuff because there's border crossings where they just let people in and out. Like they just go to work and then they go back home. But so they like shut all of that down, dude. Y'all should have saw the broccoli I was getting for like 2 months because like all the broccoli had died because there was like nobody there to like farm. It was I'm laughing, but it was the craziest shit I had ever seen. I was like, wow, dude. There was like nothing. There was no egg whites. There was like nothing going on for a long time because of that, bro. I promise you without a doubt. If undocumented workers, if undocumented workers were to not, not working on, our economy would fold tomorrow, fam. Tomorrow. It would implode tomorrow. It would be the craziest thing. Also, they're like a net $2 billion a year on the economy, on top of what they do, how they save money and keep the costs down, all that crap. On top of all of that, I mean, that's hundreds of billions of dollars what they save. Probably close to $1 trillion. But they themselves paying taxes that they don't get to take advantage of, because they do pay taxes, by the way. Most of them do. They pay taxes. They pay into our SSI. They pay into our Medi-Cal. They pay into our Medicare. They pay into that stuff, and they don't get to reap the benefits. So yeah, undocumented workers are the shit. But payroll, yeah. But they're being taken advantage of. I mean, that's the problem. I just got done talking about that we need to fast track them and give them all, green cards and work whatever they need to do to be able to make a living wage. And also simultaneously, we need to raise the minimum wage to $50. The fight for 50 needs to start tomorrow. And it needs to end in a year, because I'm tired of fighting for $15 minimum wage. And we started that fight 20 years ago when $15 minimum wage made sense. But now it don't make no fucking sense. And people are still talking about $15 an hour. That's crazy. It's already $20 an hour in Cali. And that's not enough. It's $20 an hour right now in Cali. And that's not enough. Minimum wage. Hey, man, minimum wage should be based on the most expensive state. I ain't going to even hold y'all. I don't care. Minimum wage should be based on the most expensive state. It should say, let's pick the most expensive state. What is the minimum wage to live in that state? and then that's how they should do it. They should minimum wage. I don't care. So in Texas, if minimum wage goes up to $62 an hour and you get that in Texas, so can be it. So I don't care. If that at $62 in Oklahoma, $62 in Alabama, don't care. Don't care. Right? Because the people in New York, the people in California, the people in Massachusetts, the people in Washington, they need to be able to afford to live in that state. And there's no other way of doing it. So I don't care if you're getting overpaid in your state. Not my problem. Not my problem. Not my problem. Not your problem either. Sounds like a benefit. Also, if the minimum wage goes up, everybody's wages go up. More money's in the economy. Whatever you do, huh?
And prices go up.
That's not true. You should study it. It's happened before. They did it in Seattle. Prices did not go up. They did it in Australia 25 years ago. Prices didn't go up. People have more money. What do you think happens, Abid, when your neighbors can afford to go out to eat more? Why would the prices go up?
Yeah, then companies can hire less, and then people lose their jobs. So
that's also wrong. See, you don't know. Make the progress legal to bring down trafficking and take people out of the shadows. Yeah. Let me wait. Give me a second, Jeff. Let me read this super chat. No Edit said it. I love that name. An empire usually holds up for about 250 years. The U.S. is 248 years old. We're not talking about when they landed on Plymouth Rock and when Plymouth Rock landed on us. We're talking about the bicentennial, whatever, 1776. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. 248 years. Hey, y'all, it's looking close. 2 years. I could. With what just happened with Trump and the Project 2025 and this and 2 years. I don't know, man. It's looking it's looking like it could happen. It's looking like it can happen. It's looking like it can happen. Go ahead, Jeff, and then go ahead, friend of the people. I want to let Jeff go in there, friend of the people, get in here.
Well, just the minimum wage discussion, like what you're talking about. If you are running a business and you can't pay somebody the minimum wage, maybe your business is not profitable in the current economy. So let's wrap that up. Let's be done with that, right?
Yeah, 100%. If you can't afford to pay your people a living wage, then your business needs to fold.
Exactly. Let somebody else handle it, because why would you continue to economically oppress people just because you want to own a business? That makes no sense to me. I would also, nobody really talks about this, but immigrant workers here in the South plant almost 50% of all the pine trees that end up being paper towels and toilet paper for places like GP, Charmin, all that type of stuff. That's an entire demographic of individuals that are here. You know, some are documented, some are undocumented, but I would hate to see an America without any TP. You feel me?
We saw what happened during the pandemic. Y'all was wilding out there without that TP. Y'all was acting brand new, like y'all ain't never did the shit in shower. That shit was crazy. I was like, bro, jump in that shower one time.
Can I interject for just a second? Hey, y'all, listen, there's 515 people in here. There's no way in the world we've been on here for over an hour and there's only 68,000 likes. So I'm gonna need y'all to actively participate in the live. Please tap the screen. Like, that's the least you can do. If you don't want to gift, if you don't want to do anything else, there's only 33 shares. It should be at least over 500 shares because there's over 500 people.
That is true. I don't even be thinking like that. I should start thinking like that though. Appreciate that, Jones. Go ahead, friend of the people.
Oh, what up, Pub?
Chilling.
Hey, man. First of all, great live again, but we can't. as men, we need to understand historically and currently our perpetuation, the way we perpetuate all of the economic problems that we just discussed. The way that we have voted, historically, black men, no matter what race you are, has helped these economic problems and the holding up the institutions that keep corporate power going in this country. Even now, when you mentioned Donald Trump talking about black jobs, Donald Trump was talking about black jobs not because he even knows what a black job is or even cares if a black person has a job. What he cares about is he's trying to play on the xenophobia that has been rising in the black community. I've never known black people in general, as my people, my brothers, to be xenophobic people.
Not too much. Not too much. Maybe jokey jokes here and there, but never nothing real.
Right. Not in a way that showed any kind of tangible political outcome. But now, currently, Donald Trump, a xenophobic person that gives cover to other xenophobic people, has seen an opportunity to gain votes in what's going to be a very close election by playing on black people's growing xenophobia. And we are been propagandized and are now participating. Black men mostly.
Brother, I was just about to say, I was like, who? Because I already knew you knew. I was just like, who doing it? Who's doing it though? Because I feel like it's mainly black men.
Black men, right? The xenophobic rhetoric that we've been ramping up in our community, on our internet, on our so-called podcasts and things of that nature, talking to other black men, and that xenophobic thing that we've been ramping up has created an opportunity for fascism, an opportunity for other xenophobic people to take advantage of us. And we have been propagandized into thinking that the way out of our economic problems as black men is to start punching down. Black men have traditionally been the tip of the spear when it comes to fighting white supremacy. But because we have allowed ourselves to be beat the fuck up by white supremacy for so long, a lot of these black men are becoming comfortable punching down. They're giving up the fight. When you are punching down, when you are xenophobic, when you are misogynistic, when you are anti-LGBTQ,
racist,
you take yourself out of the fight against white supremacy. You take yourself out of any chance for real change for our people. You are as anti-black as you could possibly get in that moment. And I refuse to give in to these men that would try to turn tail on the fight against white supremacy and punch on our women, to punch on LGBTQ people, to punch out on immigrants. These people do not have the power to oppress you, man. You need to start looking at who our real enemy is, what our real enemy is, and join back into the fight that we've always had in front of us. And that is the fight against white supremacy, the fight against corporate greed, the fight against racism. And until you start to put things in perspective and to understand that these people did not do anything to you, and they are not the ones taking food out of your mouth, and they're not the reason you can't find a wife, and they're not the reason you don't have any money in your pocket. Once you realize that, and you start to understand the same enemy we've always had is the same enemy we have today, then maybe we can make some progress.
That's facts. And that's what my whole prompt was about initially, was just for men to realize that it's not whatever's going on in the economy ain't got nothing to do with them. Like it ain't got nothing to do with them. And just because men, stop running around here calling women big money and shit. That's the type of energy y'all giving. Y'all giving that big money in energy. Oh, I see you, big money. That's how men, like as a collective, that's how men acting towards women. Oh, I see you big. Oh, you can go on vacation. Oh, I see you, big money. Oh, damn, you got you a new Accord? Oh, damn. I see you, big money. Well, I can't even do all of that, big money. We all ain't like you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I ain't in the streets like I used to be. Now I got a 9-to-5 job, so I can't do what you do, big money. Like, that's the type of vibe I get from like men. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? What are y'all talking about, man? This is crazy. Y'all wild as hell. Y'all so scary. Your reflex is start punching down. Your reflex is it can't be done. Oh, let's blame the women. Let's blame the LGBTQ. Like that's y'all reflex is I'm afraid to change things. So let me start fighting the people that are in it with me. Let me start. You know what I'm saying? It's sick, man. It's really sick at this point. It's crazy.
Well, it's almost like we're all going to be oppressed anyway. We can't defeat the white man. So let's be. I want to be the least oppressed of the oppressed. It's
like they want to be. Yeah, definitely. They want to be the best of the worst. I brought up HNIC because he said something interesting. I don't know if this applies to anybody up here, but I'll let him ask the question. I know it don't apply to me, but go ahead, HNIC. Make your statement again that you made in the comments.
Peace. Which one?
The one where you said that I think you said something to the effect of like we're praying. Yeah, we're asking for the downfall or whatever.
Yeah, man. Like when people were saying about the idea of the 250 years of an empire actually spans a little bit longer. It's not something we want to pray on or even wish on. It's more of like, okay, what can we do to build bridges to where that we can make these things better, to where they'll help out people, bring people out of the shadows and not have to go about and be illegal, to where that we can have better jobs and so on and so forth. I think if we focus on those solutions, then we can work towards a better America.
I'm not going to even hold y'all. I'm going to tell y'all something. I got two minds on this, right? I hope that we don't need everything to go to shit for people to wake up and start challenging the status quo, right? I hope that. I do. But if that don't work, and it seems to be that that's not working, right? I do kind of hope that the system goes to shit so that people could wake the fuck up and we could do, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it's going to take. Because America has mastered the art of giving Americans just enough for us to not want to go and like actually get active as a collective. You know what I'm saying? They give us just enough. They give white people just enough advantage. They give men just enough an advantage. They give women just enough. They give us just enough. They give us just enough. You got a cell phone every 2 years. I got a microphone. We got cheap products still. You can eat out sometimes. Like they give you just enough to where you don't know that they robbing you. You don't know that there's nothing behind. Yeah, we live in check to check, but at least I'm not like what's going on in this country. At least they give you just enough. They give you just enough hope. They give you just enough money in your pocket. They do you like how your mama used to do you when you went to school and she'd give you $2 a day for lunch. $2 a day for lunch, just enough to get you something to eat, but not enough where you can go buy a bunch of candy and stuff like that. Like you couldn't do all of that. You had to, you know what I'm saying? You had $2 a day. You had to buy you a taco snack and a drink. That was all you got. You got a piece of pizza and a, you know what I'm saying? Like you was either drinking water if you wanted to buy something else, but if you want to buy a drink and a burger, you got a drink and a burger, and that was it. No extra. Like that's how America is doing us. You know what I'm saying? So a part of me is definitely like, if the shit gotta go, the shit gotta go. Right? And HNIC, you might be speaking for yourself, or you might be speaking for the people in general. I don't even know. But me personally, though, I can handle it, fam. I can handle it. It ain't like I'm wishing whatever happens, happens. And the thing is that I got to a point in my life where I realized that who am I as a person, right? As an individual. This has happened many a times throughout the history of this world, right? Throughout the history of humanity, that the systems of oppression were torn down and people got unalived and a lot of bad things happened and stuff got a little bit better. Sometimes stuff got, way better, right? In those cases, sometimes, right? But imagine if those people during that time was like, nope, I'm not. I just want to keep everything copacetic until I go and then just leave the problem for the generation after me. So I got out of that. I think that's a very selfish way of functioning when it comes to these systems. And I'm at the place where now I'm like, if it has to happen while I'm here, it has to happen while I'm here. It has to. It is not it's not like I want. It's really not. I just want it to end. I just want what's happening to end. And if it got to happen that way, if it got to happen with a bunch more, okay, then it's got to happen that way. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, we got to rip off the Band-Aid, because what are we doing? The planet is being destroyed at an, I mean, like, Jesus Christ, the industrialization has only been happening for 125, 130 years, and the planet is already on its way out. You think we got another 100 years? You think we got another 50 years of this shit? We don't. We don't got another 50 years in us. So it may happen in our lifetime anyway. We may actually be able to see, like, the oceans boiling over. We may actually, that may happen in our lifetime. So what you want? You would rather that happen, or you would rather the system, we flip over the table and some bad shit happen, and then we fight, and then it's over, and then we win, and then now we can save the planet? Like, what do you want, HNIC? I'm not understanding.
Yeah, we'll just put into two different options that you just said. That's not how you do it. There's other things that's out there.
Name them.
We have, well, first off, barely anybody votes locally.
Voting don't work. Go ahead. Try again. Voting don't work. Voting, you can't vote your way out of oppression. That don't work. Try a different way.
Voting doesn't work. So now
you cannot vote your, listen to what I'm saying, HNIC. You cannot vote your way. I'm telling you what I'm saying. You don't have to assume what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you, hold on, HNIC. I'm going to tell you what I'm saying. You cannot vote your way out of oppression. It's impossible.
The whole time when you were talking, and you've
for
a very long time.
It's my life.
You asked me a question.
I'm a monologue again, just because you said so. Look, sir, what I'm saying to you is that that's not it, right? Voting ain't the answer to what we're talking about. Voting ain't revolutionary, fam. It's not.
Voting isn't revolutionary. Okay.
Voting ain't revolutionary. It's not.
The next thing I was going to say before you rudely interrupted was the idea that, for example, let's say education and why we need education. Now, that can come from the idea, especially in our inner cities, of we have after school and also weekend programs, just like you see Koreans, Chinese, Arabs, and everybody else that do. And also being involved in the local school boards, because that's how you get groups like Moms for Liberty. They just went from online, they went directly to the school boards, and they were actually able to change things that, to not my liking, but they were actually able to mobilize because they know the system. You're saying breaking down the system, but yet not talking about what the system is and what needs to be changed to where that you can get to the next level. You're just saying,
what
hey,
system?
Let's change GTA 5 without understanding not even playing
the game. What system do you want? What? So you want us to? You think that us going to the school boards is, by the way, our system is so messed up, brother. If I go to the school board in Long Beach, that's cool. It'll change it. It'll get nominally better in Long Beach. Only Long Beach though. Friend of the people is an hour and a half away from me. He also has to go to, like, we all have to individually do it. Don't, brother, that shit'll take 1,000 years.
It's called doing work and not being lazy.
That's not.
You actually exercise your civic duty. That's what you're supposed to do.
So you scary.
If you're not telling your people, no. If you're not telling your people, hold on one second, bro.
Hold on, Jones. Let him finish. I'll let y'all go. I interrupted him.
If you're not telling at this moment, if you ask people right now, what are the 5 freedoms of the First Amendment versus what are the 5 sisters of the Kardashians? They'll tell you the Kardashians before they can tell you the first 5 freedoms of the First Amendment. That's saying because in our society we don't have civic understanding. That's where that is our civic duty to make sure we equip ourselves with information. It's an information economy. It's a knowledge-based economy. So in order to get free, it's with the mind, not just decolonizing our mind, which is very important, where that you know that you yourself have value and purpose. And then we look at and say, okay, how does this system work to where that we can go about and go through whatever we need to do. Now, according to Declaration of Independence and even John Locke, if you go through all of those steps and it still doesn't work, then yes, saying that as people who may be oppressed, then you are allowed to actually go about and overthrow it. But if you have not gone about and done your the civic duty of going about the steps of changing it, then that's being intellectually and also civically and socially immoral and also invaluable. You need to go through what you need to go through.
Invaluable is a good thing, by the way. But anyways,
can I say
go ahead, Mr. Jones, and I got to get to MJ.
Yeah, so Houston had a democratically elected school board, and then the governor came and removed all of the school board members and replaced them with people who were ideologically aligned with him. So I mean, as much as I agree that we should attempt to get
absolutely
in the school board or in the system. When you have a governor who can just come in and remove all of you, then what difference have you made?
And how did that governor and Mr. Jones? You're familiar. Hold on, HNIC. Hold on, HNIC. Wait. And Mr. Jones. And here's what I'm saying. Let's pull it back a little bit more. So the governor has that power. How did you talking about? You said in Texas, right? So it's Abbott. Abbott. Okay. Yeah. Now I read a study on how basically Republicans would never win any seats if not for gerrymandering.
Correct.
Right. How do you stop gerrymandering?
Well, I mean, because they've been working on this plan for over 50 years, and they had Section 4 and Section 5 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act removed, which required pre-clearance in order to change voting districts, voting laws, and registration rules. There's really no way to stop it at this point. You can't.
That's what I figured. So if you can't stop gerrymandering, meaning no matter what you do on the local level, they could just supersede. They could just come over the top of you and destroy all of your work. How do you propose we change this? How else would you change the system? Like, so basically what I'm asking you is, do you think that we can still change the system from within the system, or do you think we have to go outside of the system to change the system?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you would probably have to go outside of the system in order to change the system.
Okay, so voting, going to your local, that's not going to change the system. Nobody's saying don't do that to like mitigate the damage, because you know what I'm saying, because we could walk and chew gum, right? But acting like that is the end all be all, do you think that would actually?
No, because you interrupted me and I was actually still talking.
That is what you said, sir.
And also Houston was taken over, and I'm in Texas. I actually know my good friend is actually the person who's in charge of HR now. He just got hired there. I know what's going on there. It was taken over because the school system failed, and also there's high allegations of misconduct in that school district. The thing is that we have to make sure that we educate ourselves at all of Houston level. All the Houston ISD, sir. Houston ISD. That's what we're looking at. Once again, this is my territory, so please listen. I'm an educator as well. I'm letting you know that's what happened. The school district failed, absolutely failed. The whole school district. That's why I was taken over. But I'm saying that, from a local level and also home level, this is where we make sure we have programs for our kids where they can be able to read Fanon if they want to. They can be able to read.
Hold on, let me just ask a question. If they were failing, why wouldn't you allow the people to elect new school board members instead of replacing them with religious zealots?
Brother, they did that. They've been failing for so many years.
You're not answering my question. Why would you allow there to be a new election instead of replacing them with religious zealots?
Maybe if you listen,
religious zealots are the proper replacement.
Brother, I told you that they allowed them to do that. They gave them so many chances to actually try to get back in on par. It was failing tremendously. It was a laughing stock.
Are religious zealots the solution?
No, brother. No, okay. So now this is when you guys go into this rigmarole saying, "Oh, let's go into the side quest and talk about, is this it?" Yo,
no.
What? Finish it. Wait. Finish the statement, because that was a legitimate question.
And that's not the answer. But once again, because those people know the system and they go to the school boards and they go get elected, that's what we're saying that we should do that. You do know that in Chicago with the Panthers and everything, that's what they advocated as well. And also even in Ramparts and other parts of LA, they say, hey, we need to make sure we know about what's going on in school districts. And I don't disagree with any of that.
I'm asking you about what specifically happened in Houston. Is allowing the governor to replace them with religious zealots, was that the answer?
Replacing with, if you want to say religious zealots, then that's on you, what you believe that is. But once again, that's why people have gone in and actually have ran for school board. And that's what I'm saying, that to go into that system where you guys are saying that it doesn't work, it doesn't make sense. And
HNIC, I think what we're trying to help you understand is that you are contradicting yourself, because you talked about, hold on, I know you don't think you are, but you are, because you're talking too much. You said voting is the thing. Oh, voting is the key, democracy, right? And the thing you're describing is everything but a democratic process. That is tyranny, what happened. And you're saying that voting is the thing that's good. Because here's what I'm saying. I said that the way out of this is either we collectively come together, and we can do it peacefully for the most part. It's going to be some pain, but it's going to take an inordinate amount of us to come together and, and start to punch up and really mess the system up and disrupt the system, right? That's my, hold on. What do you want? What do you want? Hold on, wait.
No,
Hold on.
coming up with actual ideas that are.
Hold on. I'll help you. Since you want ideas. If you wanted to change anything in the system, my approach is do a general worker strike. That's my peaceful protest. General worker strike and BDS movement, right? Business divestment and sanctions. Do what they did in South Africa, right? That's how they broke up apartheid in South Africa. It's worked all around the world. It can work here. That's you want to know now, what do we want to attack? I want to attack the whole system because the whole system needs to be redone. The whole thing needs to be destroyed and parts of it needs to be rebuilt. Other parts don't have any business coming back. That's if you want the solution. That's my solution, right? That's one of my approaches. Now, if and when that doesn't work, it is going to have to be more radical. The approach will have to the approaches will have to become more radical and probably more violent. That's what I was saying. And you trying to combat that. You said blah 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 blah, build bridges, blah 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 blah, we need to vote, blah 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 blah, go to your school board. And do you see how what you're saying and I'm saying are in conflict with one another? And what you're saying actually wouldn't. How is what you're saying actually change any fucking thing? I'm very curious. When Mr. Jones just highlighted how even if you vote and even if you do the school board meetings and even if you do all of this stuff, the system will system no matter what, because they still control it. So you trying to destroy the system from within the system don't work. That's not revolutionary. Do we not need a revolution or do we just need tweaks around the edges?
No, there's no need for revolution. You've never.
And that's the problem. You don't think we need a revolution, and we do.
Because revolutions are bloody. Have you ever seen?
Not every revolution is bloody, sir.
Okay, so
there have been bloodless. What are you talking about? There have been bloodless coups. What are you talking about?
Yeah, a coup is different from a revolution, sir.
Coups are revolutions.
No, not necessarily, sir.
Get the. Hey man, y'all talk to this dude. He don't know what he's talking about.
Revolting again.
Oh my God.
They don't take it off the table. Why would you take it off the table?
Because you have not got. You guys are rebels without a cause, and you guys making.
We got a cause. Hold on. Your cause is what? To change the school, to change the people that work at the school board? That's your cause?
Well, because keep in mind that this is a knowledge-based economy. Knowledge and education.
It's not a knowledge-based economy. You just made that up. You've made up several phrases in my life. This is a new one. It is not a knowledge-based economy.
So
what does that mean? Explain it. Explain it.
Okay, I'm explaining it. If you be quiet, the World Economic Forum is talking about the idea of a knowledge-based economy. A knowledge-based economy is looking at services and also like information, like online, Apple, other things to where that it's based on your brain. That's why a lot of companies, a lot of school, not just schools, but also countries are trying to get the best talent. You look at US, you look at Canada, you look at El Salvador. It's about who can get the best geniuses and best people to come up with the best ideas, to come up with the best technology, to actually sell it around the world. A knowledge-based economy, if you don't believe me, everybody please go Google that. Put information or knowledge-based economy, and I'm not bullshitting.
That's a theory, though. Who's going to serve you your cheeseburger at the end of the day? Who's going to cut your grass? Who's going to move products from one place to another? Where are the truck drivers? Where are the people that run the trains? The people that do the supply chain? Where are those people in the idea-based economy?
Actually, what you think about it?
Hold on, let him go. Let him finish, Jeff. Let him finish.
In an AI economy,
Jeff, let him finish.
When it comes to people that are doing labor, that's actually even more important. That's why I told you earlier when I was on your live last time, saying that we need to get our young ladies into STEM and into other trades and everything, because the sectors that are going out of style and taken over by AI, that's going to be your jobs like food service, customer service, sales, and office support, because it's going to get AI. We don't want our ladies on the back end of that and have no jobs, and then there be this trade revolution which we see going on.
Worry about the men's, brother. The men's are the ones that's failing. The women's are the ones that's going to college and getting their degrees. The men's are the ones that's checking out, especially black men. 2 million more black women are employed versus black men. Don't worry. The women's is good. They good. They gonna get their education. As long as we stop oppressing them, they gonna be fine. They gonna flourish. It's the men's. We the ones. So focus on us.
And that's why I said within schools, work on EQ. Remember, I talked about that, and also trades. Trades are going to be very important in this economy because there's a shortage of them. When you saw the Biden infrastructure bill, they're like, "Yo, we don't have anybody that has trades. We're going to have to import people." But if we get young men working with their hands and actually go about understanding their emotions and intellectual and emotional intelligence, that's going to be important. But also get our young ladies into STEM because, as I said, when you look at the AI economy, a lot of the jobs that are really run by a lot of our ladies, it's going to be taken over, and we don't want them to be on the ass end of the stick. We want to make it to where that they go into STEM and also.
Wait, that's not true though. They're that's what I don't know. I just disagree with you. Hold on. Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff, and then I want MJ. Are you there? Hold on, real quick. MJ, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Go ahead, MJ. Let me get MJ in here, and we'll go back to you, Jeff. Go ahead, MJ.
It's been a lot said. So I'm just going to touch on a couple of side points here. Everything, I've had a long-standing opinion of this ragged ass country that we are all trapped in. That everything here is intentional. Everything here is on purpose.
Of course.
Perfect example is sane people go, well, why can't we solve homelessness? Mm-hmm. Why can't we solve, the circumstance of the unhoused in this country? Mm-hmm. And I always say, because they need an example.
Yeah, they always. Need an
example to say, hey, boy, hey, girl, stay in line, or you're going to be one of them.
You can end up under that bridge right with them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it's always a counterweight to a thing.
Permanent.
That's why
they need a permanent underclass in capitalism. Yes. There's a permanent underclass. They have to have it.
Absolutely. And that's why, while I agree with you that one of the easiest ways to move the needle in this country would be a total worker stoppage, we can't have it because of the fear of homelessness.
Well, you don't need a total. You don't need all the workers to stop, though.
Well, I mean, and even if you had one on a higher level, even if you had 45%, that 45% is still going to live in the abject fear of the consequences of potentially being boxed out of society. That's the circumstances that we've constructed. Like, you don't have that in Europe because Europe has a lot of like cooperation, amongst the actual populace, where it's like, yeah, you're not going to fire anybody in this particular work stoppage. People are going to have their say and so forth. And then it'll be kind of hashed out in the courts or hashed out in the halls of legislation and so forth. But here we don't have that. We're going to make example of people. It's the same thing that's happened with so much union busting and things along those lines. It's like, we're going to make an example of these people who try to improve things for you. That's the way that we structure. So the bad part about it is, like, I'm not 100% sure if there is a solution. I know the primary solution that I'm shooting for as a progressive is the death of capitalism, because that's where everything is. It's just like when you were saying earlier, Pub, that we should be fighting for 50. Yeah. I'm on board with you. But the problem with it is, as long as capitalism is in play, we're going to have that counterbalance. Even though we have studies that when the minimum wage increases, prices don't increase, in that circumstance, capitalism is going to go, oh, shit, we got major extra bucks in the economy. Let's go ahead and boost it. We already have a populace that's not smart enough to blame capitalism for the egregious increases in the rental rates across the nation. I ain't even talking about in places that are.
I actually disagree with you. I think most people actually know this stuff. They don't know that. I don't think they know the terminology. And the reason why I disagree is because I've seen so many polls where if you frame the question in a certain way, it allows people to see what it is. So like if you ask an American about socialism or communism, their reflex, because of our programming and the propaganda, us being propagandized, our reflex is to be like, oh, communism bad, socialism bad, whatever the case may be. But if you ask them, if you break it down individually and you say, hey, what do you think about having like a medical system where you don't have to pay at the point of service and everybody has access to it and so on and so forth? Like 85% of Americans will be like, oh no, yeah, that's exactly what we want. Okay. What do you say to the effective tax rate? What do you say we put a cap on on the amount of money a person can make, like, or you don't have to say that. Maybe we put an effective tax rate of 99% on every dollar over $5 million or 10 million, whatever it is. Every dollar you make over $10 million is getting taxed 99%. And then we take that money and then we do X, Y, Z. Would you be down with that? Oh yeah, no, I'll be down with that. Like when you ask people, when you ask them about stuff like that, like, oh yeah, that's redistribution of wealth. Oh, that's that's a socialist program. That's socialized medicine. But if you said, hey, do you want socialized medicine? Oh no, you got to work for it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So what I'm saying is, I think most people actually do know exactly what's going on. You just can't use those buzzwords and trigger words. But we all know what's going on.
Yeah, here's my argument though. I'm not saying that people are unaware of a thing. I'm saying that as a populace, we are ignorant of the mechanisms and how things correlate together. The circumstances that we run into is that, yeah, if you take the words that have been heavily monopolized in the conversation, especially those words that have been demonized, if you use those words, people are going to automatically, almost on a Pavlovian level, repel against those words. We get that. Everybody understands that concept. But like I said initially, that everything is on purpose. We have purposefully, like, we don't have progressive media. We barely even have a left-leaning media. Want to keep it a buck?
We don't have a left-leaning media at all.
MSNBC and CNN are centrist at best. At best.
Yeah, I think they're right.
Because they come on with the exact same foolishness. They come on with the exact same, well, this thing won't work. Who's gonna pay for it? We already paying for it.
Any media apparatus that is pro-war is not left-leaning at all. That's my litmus test for and MSNBC and CNN and all of them. They love war.
Of course. 100%. So that's what I'm saying is that, like, the bad part about it is me. I've always been a voting progressive, and I tend to disagree with you in regards to how voting can't change things. Of course, it's going to take a while because, again, one, you have to educate the populace on what the vote is. It ain't just casting a ballot. It's casting the ballot and then the legwork after that. It's the legwork before you cast the ballot. It's not just going into the booth. And people think, I'm going to punch this button and then something in my material circumstances is going to change or not change. And it don't. If you don't make these motherfuckers do something. The whole thing about it, like Joe Biden did not want to do anything on student loan debt forgiveness initially. He was made to. He was pushed in that direction. And then once he got in office, people kept pushing him. That's the circumstance. So it becomes that. It's not just a change one school board, because you're 100% right. You change the school board in Long Beach, they don't do nothing in Atlanta. It don't do nothing in Miami. It don't do nothing in Topeka. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So but it's a circumstance where, yes, Houston ISD got attacked by Greg Abbott because Greg Abbott is a sack of shit. Period. That's the long and the short of it. It don't take a long story for it. But I was living in Texas at the time when he was initially elected. I voted for Wendy Davis, who was a progressive, who wanted to keep women's access to their own bodily autonomy and things along those lines. Because the people of Texas were not educated as to what they would lose with continuing with Republican leadership in their state house, they went with Abbott because we're a quote unquote red state.
I think but MJ, hold on, brother, hold on. We going way off real quick. What I'm saying is that even the system that's in place right now, with or without Greg Abbott, there's a lot of children being left behind. So and my point is that at best, when you vote, you mitigate the damage. It's not a revolutionary act. That's what I said. I didn't say voting doesn't matter. I'm saying, and as it pertains to revolution, which I think we need a revolution. I think we need a full one. We need a 180 turn, right? We need to be right. Even though revolution is 360, but we need a 180 turn. We need to do about face and move away from the direction we're going. I really don't think any direction. I don't think that in any aspect that we're moving in this country is one that we need to continue moving. And I think we need to turn it completely in a different, in a different direction. And voting won't change that. They won't. It won't do that, unfortunately. Locally or federally. So I think that's my problem, is that there are far too many people that think that everything is gonna be better if you vote, but it's not. Like, you talking about being uneducated. Let me tell you that historically that's not what's gonna happen, right? We've been voting. America has been voting, in the working class have been poor this whole time. What I'm saying is that we what we need to do is, though, you said, oh, after you vote, you still need to go out there. I'm saying whether you vote or not, you need to go out there. I'm saying if you skip voting and you went outside and demonstrated or stayed inside and didn't go to work, the shit will change, whether you vote or not. That's my point.
If you skip voting and even more terrible motherfuckers get in the office, then nothing is going to change. That's what I'm saying. I
don't think you understand what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who gets in the office, because the people they work for don't care. They got the same agenda, right? You can't get in the office without corporate backing.
If you are changing a system, through revolution, that system can be changed through several different methodologies. What I am saying is that voting is one of the methodologies if the people did it the right way. People don't do it the right way. People, again, for example, people go, well, man, Trump old, Biden old, I ain't want neither one of them. We ought to get another candidate. Well, I'm like, yeah, but y'all didn't do nothing about that 6 years ago. Where you get somebody's name recognition up, where you get them through the actual litmus test of determining whether or not they have actual progressive ideology and would actually move the needle for the people.
Yeah, I disagree.
People actually,
I'm not here to tell people. I'm not MJ. Hold on, wait, brother. I'm not here to tell people not to vote. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I also at the same time, I'm not gonna lie to people and say that voting is the thing that's gonna change the country, because it's not. If you want to vote. I'm not like vote. I'm a vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
that's the only methodology.
I don't think voting has anything to do with the revolution. That's my point. I think they're completely separate of one another. I don't think they have anything to do with one another whatsoever. I don't think voting is gonna. I think we're having a different discussion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about in this country. I don't know about in another country. People are saying it can. In what country? In America, where there's a two-party system? In America, where there's a thing called the Electoral College, where no matter who you vote for, they still get to pick the candidate. They still get to pick the candidate, no matter who you vote for. Just so you know, no matter how many in America, where Hillary Clinton had 3 million more votes, so she actually more people voted for her, but Donald Trump won, and it happened with George Bush Sr. and it happened with George Bush Jr. The last three Republican presidents all lost the popular vote. So what are y'all talking about? Don't talk to me about voting when it comes to revolution. It's irrelevant. It doesn't have anything to do with the revolution whatsoever.
The system that we want change is partially a political one, though. So if you're not attacking on that front, you're leaving.
It's all political. I'm not arguing if it's political or not. It's all political. Policies run our world. That's what they do. I'm all about that. Policies are the code that run the world. The way you get a policy, though, change or an act or whatever the case may be, is not voting. I can guarantee you it ain't voting. It's going to be, I don't care who's in office, Greg Abbott, Abbott Smith, it don't matter. Get up, go outside, or stay home, stay away, don't vote, don't work, don't buy nothing. Like, that's how you're going to get their attention.
How do people survive with not buying anything, Paul? Because people have to eat.
You have to. Now. Yeah, wait. I've had this. Wait, hold on, MJ. I've had this discussion many a times. Yes, once again, everybody doesn't have to stop working. Just so you know, everybody doesn't have to stop working, right?
Agreed.
Okay, cool. So if truckers stop working, it's illegal for the railroad workers to stop working. I don't know if you guys know that. They can't organize, they can't demonstrate. It's illegal because they're so important and they're so vital that if they did, our whole economy would crash fairly quickly, right? Okay, cool. So when you ask, how do we eat? People work and people fund the movement like we've always done. You don't need everybody to protest. You don't need everybody to stop working. See what I'm saying? Like people, like the thing that annoys me sometimes is that people have these discussions as if they've, to me, as if they've actually thought about it in depth. And I'm like, and so instead of coming with the like, but what about, right? And the like, but this ain't gonna work. Please believe those of us that talk about this stuff, like I will speak for me personally. I've thought about this for years. It's not a new thing to me. I didn't just start thinking about this when Trump started running. I've been thinking about this for a long time. And I've seen it work in other ways. And a lot of what I'm saying, I've already seen work. Pretty much everything. Literally everything that I'm talking about has worked historically. There is a historic precedent for everything that I'm saying. So if you're asking me, how do we do it? I'm going to point to the things that it's already happened time and time and time again. Like I mentioned BDS, like I mentioned South Africa, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. The same way that we sanction Cuba, we can do that to our own government. You know what I'm saying? We can do the same thing.
You can only point to that being successful in communal society, sir. We don't have
that. Doesn't even make sense. That's a word salad. It doesn't mean communal or not. We're in a community.
In regards to student debt forgiveness and everything, we got people out here who like, yeah, I don't want to help nobody because ain't nobody help me. So where are we going to get the
instead
help
wait. Instead of you moved the goalposts already. First you asked, how do people eat? I answered the question. Now you're going to, well, we don't live in a communal society. Can you just admit that you don't know, and that's fine? And secondly, maybe you're a little worried about doing it. Maybe you're a little scared, because here's the thing. Here's what I get from this stuff. When we start talking about, hey, this is what we can do and we can take the power and we can stop working, that's when a lot of people who be on that vote train shit, that's when they run, because it's easy. Oh, I voted. I demonstrated. I walked out in the protest. I did. That's easy. I'll be honest with you. That's easy to do, fam. That's nothing.
I'm 100% on board with the circumstance. It's just, for me, it's the same as like whenever we have said, all right, cool, we're going to boycott a Walmart, boycott a Target, boycott this grocery store, what have you. Where do we go to? Because the way that the system is constructed, we don't have anything.
What do you need from Walmart, MJ? What do you need?
All we're doing is shifting our money from one of our corporate assholes to another.
You're making up stuff. What do you need from Walmart?
You know, people buy food from there, right?
Oh, I understand. So you're saying you're saying that in a place where where there's a food desert, let's say, and you can only go to Walmart to shop. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that in general.
So what do you need from Walmart? That's what I'm saying. You don't think there's
if I'm in Texas.
Okay.
If I'm like, all right, there's a boycott of Kroger. So I'm not going to Kroger in Texas. Then that's all I'm doing is taking my money then to HEB. There's not a black owned, there's not a progressive freaking place where I can then invest my money and still be able to survive with those means. So even if other people are supporting me, they are still going to be going to one of those places to get food for my family while I don't work as part of the strike. That's what I'm saying.
It sounds like you just haven't thought about it enough. And that's what it just sounds like. You're just saying like it sounds like you're trying to find a reason to not do it. And that's what I mean, brother. A lot of people are scared. I'll be honest with you. I know a lot of people are scared, especially when you start telling them they got the power. Especially when you tell people they Bruce Leroy and they got the glow. And I'm like, you got it, fam. Like, we got it. It's in our hands. Now they don't want it. Now it's, but what if, but man, hey, it ain't gonna do nothing. If you're telling me that a boycott or abstaining from buying stuff from certain corporations for an extended period of time is less effective than us voting, then I don't know what to tell you. Then what are we talking about? Because that's what I'm saying.
I said that when people abstain, how are they going to be supported? You said the people are going to support them.
Yeah.
The people are going to support them from what?
They're
going to buy from who? They're going to buy from who, Corp? Who are they going to buy from, Pub? Who are they going to buy from?
From local farmers?
Yeah,
okay.
Can I make a little interjection here?
Okay.
Yeah, like there's an entire whole you pick a place like maybe 30 minutes from my house, right? If I don't go to work, I can go to the you pick a place and I can go get all the tomatoes, all the cucumbers I want, all the eggs I want, all that, and I can jar it all myself, put it up, just like grandma used to do. I can do all of that if I'm not going to support demand, right? But I do think that you're arguing within a system, and what we're saying is the system is wrong. We need to dismantle. We need to throw the whole system out and start over. And what you're saying is, if we strike, then how are we going to operate in the system? We don't want the system to be there.
I'm not saying
MJ,
that.
let him finish, brother.
Operating in the system, I'm solely talking about survival.
You're not talking about survival. You're talking about what you're doing is every single time somebody says this is what we can do to upend it, you go, oh, but that won't work because, or what about da 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 da? You just being a naysayer. That's how you're coming off. I'm telling you, MJ. Hold on, MJ. Let me tell you. I'm telling you, if that is not what you're trying to do, then you should take a different approach, because that is how you're coming off. It's not just me. Everybody is saying the same. It's not just me, bro. Like, that is how you're coming off. You're coming off as a person who is just simply afraid to do it or lacks the knowledge. That's it. You're not coming off as like the reasonable one, which I think that's what you think you are. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm being honest. Like, you think, and that's fair. You think I'm being reasonable. You're like, I'm being reasonable. I'm asking the reasonable questions. All of us are like, we've already been there and done that. We know the math on it. This is how it'll work. And when we give you the answer, you go up, but. You see what I'm saying? And you move the goalpost and you pivot to something else. And that comes off as a negative Nancy. That comes off as a naysayer.
I have not once moved the goalpost.
You did.
I'm not trying to be a naysayer. I am asking about the specifics, because if there are other individuals, because I'm willing to do worker strike and everything if there are individuals that are going to support me and mine while we are in a position of vulnerability. That's the circumstance. If we do not have a structure to support people who are in the point of vulnerability, who are taking the hit for the rest of us to move this needle, then what is going to happen?
I said that.
People can buy food from Walmart. They can buy it from wherever the fuck. I don't care. That's not my argument. My argument has been, how long do you think
it would take for us to bring down the system if enough people did? How long do you think it would last?
Years.
Were you not alive during COVID?
Sir, do you not understand that there are always individuals who unfortunately are going to be working against everybody else's better interest, trying
that's a naysayer approach. Did you not see what happened during COVID? When these great big corporations needed bailouts because they were living, come to find out, everybody living paycheck to paycheck, not just you, me, and the neighbors. Come to find out, they weren't lying.
That's the easiest circumstance for our goofy ass government to bail them out.
They were not lying. They really are living like that, man. That's not a lie. People were talking about it. People know that. What are you talking about?
They're making $1 billion profit, but they're living paycheck to paycheck. Come on, pup.
Where do you hold on? Wait. So yes, they got all of these profits. The people who work there got the money though. That's what I'm trying. It ain't like the money is just saved up in an account. The money is allocated, so they don't got the money. They're paying everybody, and the people who are at the top are not taking the pay. You see what I'm saying?
You only have profit after payment,
sir.
Profit is determined after wages are paid.
Listen to what I'm saying. So, if they made $100 million, I'm trying to tell you, they made $100 million, right? Made profit. They paid everybody. They made $100 million. The CEOs and blah, 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 who gets that profit? They eat the profit up. It ain't like they just put the profit in a bank. The profit is gone. So that money, so they're living paycheck to paycheck, essentially. That's what I'm trying to tell you. People weren't flying. That is the truth. The people weren't flying. What profits were there to be had when people weren't flying? So they needed
talking about airlines, though.
That's one big ass industry. That was one great big industry.
Airlines have an outstanding line item of the consistent maintenance of the planes. So they're not going to have as much of their profits on. Now, I don't even want to get in this conversation because now you have me out here arguing on the side of fucking capitalism. And no, sir, I will not.
Yeah, that's why you should stop having this conversation with me, because that's what you're doing.
Because you shifted into that.
I didn't shift it to that.
Hey, bro, they living paycheck to paycheck like the rest of us. Since fucking when? McDonald's ain't living no fucking paycheck to paycheck.
I'm not talking about the CEOs. I'm talking about the company.
I'm talking about the company. McDonald's as a corporation is not operating paycheck to paycheck.
Well, wait. McDonald's is they're privatized. So some of them are, some of them aren't. But as a corporation,
the franchises might.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The franchisees might be living paycheck to pay. That's what I'm saying.
But y'all do understand that it is a corporation that franchises out. So the corporation is independent of the franchise.
You're missing what I'm. Hold on.
That it offers out and saying that you guys have to offer this meal.
I think what you're missing. I think the point you're missing is this. What I'm saying is that these industries that we think got all of this money and they could just sustain people not buying their shit for a long period of time, or people not working for a long period of time, actually don't have that much money, and actually their business model is unsustainable. So if people walk away, I don't think it would take years. I think it would take months. I think it would take days for some, months for others, but not years overall.
You would need a high enough walkaway, though.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on, that's not what you're saying. Because obviously, what I'm saying is
you said that we cannot do a total divestment of the thing, sir.
We don't need to.
And I agree with you. And I agree with that.
I just told you if the railroad workers strike, that our system would implode. If the truckers strike, our system would implode. There is a bunch of industries where, like, if just these motherfuckers just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can move the needle.
The rails can't strike. You know that. You already said that.
Sir, but they can't. But they can.
I'm talking about.
It's illegal, but that's not. I'm saying obviously you would have to operate outside of legalities because.
Yeah, but I'm talking about affecting. I'm talking about affecting the system on a whole, not just collapsing society.
What? But they're going to happen at the same time.
Okay.
Because society is built on the systems. So you're going to have to, so society is going to, a part of society is going to collapse. That's what I'm trying to tell you, no matter what. It's good. Like, that's the point. Somebody just told me that McDonald's is struggling to pay $10 million donations. They hungry out here, y'all. What up, Shan?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to come up real quick and speak on the McDonald's thing. I won't get into specifics about how I know this, but McDonald's is struggling as a corporation. They are struggling a lot with their volumes and getting people into the stores. And so they have been losing a lot of profits. And this has been going on for quite some time. And some of the things that's like exacerbating it is, of course, COVID. And like people doing boycotts for different reasons. So yeah, McDonald's as a corporation is struggling quite a bit right now.
Interesting. I feel like a lot of these corporations are struggling. A lot of these big corporations are struggling. And if enough people just was like, yeah, I'm not buying another iPhone. I'm just gonna keep the one I got. Like, or I'm not gonna buy another computer, or I'm not gonna buy another car. Like, this car is fine. I'm going to drive this car for another 5 years, and I'm not going to buy diamonds, and I'm not going to buy, like, if we just did that type of stuff, like, I don't know why this shit really ain't that. It's simple. It's going to be hard, but it's simple though. It ain't really that crazy. It happens all the time. It happens in other places. France just did a bloodless, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't say revolution, but protesting for years, like 3 or 4 years now, maybe 4 years now. I think they started doing it during COVID, so 4 years now. They the Yellow Vest movement, and look at where they're at now. They just like smashed Macron in France, right? You look at what happened in the UK with what's his name, the dude who left the Labour Party, and he just fucking smashed the Labour Party. Ran as an independent, smashed the Labour Party. Like, it's happening around the world. It's happening around the world. You look at the women in Iceland when they just walked off the jobs and just was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like if enough of us do it, it's a wrap. If enough of us do it, it's a wrap. And I don't know the number. Now that's something different. I don't know if it's 50%, 20%, 10%. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
It's usually 3/10.
3/10?
That's what scientific studies say. If you change the mind of 3 out of 10 people, then you can sway the entire group. And that the workplace, friends, social group, whatever. 3 out of 10 is what it takes to get the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. That's all I be saying. It don't take everybody. It don't take most people. I'm just tired of people acting like it's a sum zero game. Like everybody gotta be involved, and if everybody ain't involved, we can't do it, and it's gonna fail. And I'm like, I'm tired of hearing that. Like I really am. I feel like this is the same shit when they was trying to organize the boycotts in Alabama, in Montgomery. You know what I'm saying? It was somebody talking about, so you expect people to walk to work every day? Like, yeah, motherfucker, we gonna walk to work every day. You got a problem? But I'll work 8 miles away. Well, you should have chose better. Should have got a job closer. We'll carpool. We'll do what we could do.
Get on that bicycle.
Get that bike.
And go.
Get that beach cruiser. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, I'm just like, well, at some point, man, we got to stop. Yeah, man, I don't know. At some point, we got to stop saying we can't do stuff that we historically as human beings have done time and time and time again. Like over and over and over again, we've done this. And yet when a person says, yeah, we can do it again, but how? The same way the last motherfuckers did it. Like for the 400 years ago, 300 years ago, 1,000 years ago, workers walked off of their jobs during in the BC era. Like they just left. The farmers was like, we not farming no more. The kings were like, the monarchs were like, we want to take 80% of your fucking labor and take 80% of your bushels and all of that stuff. And they was like, nah, we're good. And they just walked off the job. They were like, we're not farming anymore. They literally just put it there. They was like, we're not farming anymore. They folded in it was months. They folded the whole monarch. They were like, all right, cool. And they created better conditions for them and so on and so forth. They worked out a better deal, right? I'm just saying, my thing is, I wouldn't be down for progress, right? If we're gonna walk off these jobs and we're gonna do all this shit, I'm not in it for progress. I'm in it for blow the whole shit up. I don't know about y'all. I'm not in it for organizing better. Negotiating better terms and our kids going to better schools. And no. I ain't in it for none of that shit. No. I want y'all to give us everything y'all owe us and with interest. You know what I'm saying? I want everything. I want it all. And get up out of here. Don't come back. That's what we on. If we doing that. I'm not doing it so we could so Apple could still own Apple and Tesla can still own Tesla and they can still control the internet. No. Everything is going public. The internet is public. Y'all ain't gonna have to pay for it no more. All these apps are going to be publicly owned. There no private companies are going to own these apps. Like we doing the whole shebang bang, right? If we gonna redo it, we gonna redo it. Y'all, a lot of people want to do all of this stuff and then just go fix up the bathroom. It's a lot of y'all just want to go remodel the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, bro, we got to knock down the whole house. We need to build a whole new house, right? We need a whole new foundation, a whole new house, new mortar, new bricks, new everything. We gonna do all this work just so our babies could go to a better school. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna stay. If that's what y'all on, I'm just gonna stay home. I ain't gonna even hold you. If that's what y'all on, I said, just wake me. Hey, if y'all just gonna do it just so we could get $50 an hour minimum wage, I'm gonna stay at the house. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm gonna keep working. I ain't gonna join for that. It ain't worth it. Because we're gonna have to do it again in 50 years. We're gonna so I'm straight. I ain't gonna do that. Crazy work. Y'all wanna make it Y'all want to give black people more opportunities. No. I'm not protesting to give black people more opportunities. I'm not doing that. We getting reparations, and y'all gonna have to unhand the system, turn the system over. That's it. Yeah, the workers got to eat. Everybody got to eat. What up, BPG?
What's up? I almost feel bad for MJ because he was right there at the tip of, the revelation that he was defending capitalism, and just he kept walking back. I think he got scared realizing that, like, you're accepting capitalism for how it's supposed to work. Like, you're supposed to believe that the money and the structure is the power and not the people. And there have not been any policy changes that have been enacted by just voting people in. The revolutionary acts that we've seen throughout history that have sparked major change always comes from people who get fed up and start walking off, or people who start flipping stuff over, or people who start burning stuff down. That's how that works. When you look at, I'm so glad that you mentioned the bus boycott, because that was the first thing that was in the front of my head. It had nothing to do with voting for the right people. Most of the time, most of that was people who couldn't even vote. They were jumping through hoops trying to have access to voting. Mm-hmm. But the change that really happened was when people did organize together, and they were figuring out different ways to do things outside of just catching a bus. Like, they figured out how to carpool. People were riding bikes. People were walking to work, and they were walking miles to work in the heat, in the rain. They were figuring out how to work together, so that people didn't have to take the bus. Like, that was a taboo thing. And then they made it to the point where you didn't even if you weren't necessarily considering yourself a part of the boycott, you didn't want to catch the bus, because you're like, I don't want my friends and family to see me on no doggone bus, because that would be embarrassing. You would call yourself out by being one of those people that's on the bus. So that level of revolution, that level of dedication is what it takes in order for policies to change, because politicians respond to money emptying out of their pockets. That's facts. What they respond to. Yep. That's what they respond to. And we know this, like, we've seen, I think the pandemic proved it, when fast food, when people were pissed off because, they took off from their cushy jobs, and they were able, they had jobs where they told them that they could work from home or whatever they were, they were just paying, they basically were paying people to stay home. And it was like, people were getting, minimum wage workers and you know what I'm saying? And like, fast food industry workers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They were making more money not working than they were working. They was like, why would I go back to work? And the only way, and how were they trying to entice those people to get back to work? They paid them more. Yep. That's how they had to do it. That's how they had to get them off the couches. That's how they had to do it. And people were pissed off. The irony is the people, the other side of that was people who were pissed off because they didn't have access to fast food workers, because they didn't want to go back to work. Mm-hmm. So the people who could stay at home and could work from home were pissed off at the fast food workers because they didn't want to work for a minimal pay, and go work a job where they would risk their life and limb in order to be there. That is revolution. Like, that's how that works. And then you have policymakers who start changing their minds, not because they have this like moral compass that's tipped in the way of being right. It comes from, they are losing money and they are losing access. So now they have to figure out how to recoup those resources, so they start giving into the people's demands. Because when you start emphasizing, voting is like so low level. I'm telling BPG, it's the first, it's the first step in 1,000 steps. And I'm like, y'all still talking about voting. We vote, man. Like, vote. Like, come on, man. Like, that's not $9.99. Like, for real. Come on, y'all. Literally at the very bottom, because politicians, and if you don't recognize that this week, I can't help you. Politicians do not have a moral compass, and it's a sad reality. But even your favorite politician does not have a moral compass, because they have to still operate in the interest of the people who line their pockets. That's for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, sometimes that works in our favor, and sometimes that doesn't. But nevertheless, either way, that is how they have to operate. Mm-hmm. And when you start to believe that you can convince people that, if you vote for this person who is right for this office because they represent your special interest, then you have been the change. That's not what's happening. For one, it's all a game and it's all a show.
Barack Obama would not have been voted in as president if he wasn't an attractive man with an attractive family who could speak really well. Like, that education wouldn't have mattered. I promise you, the strides that he made, and all of those things that people like to talk about, would not have mattered if he wasn't a charismatic person. That is what people look for in presidents. They look for who's going to look good, who's going to be entertaining. That is why Donald Trump even has a chance at being president, because of the fact that there are people who genuinely like watching him be an idiot. Like in real life, they enjoy watching it, and they feel like on the surface, Donald Trump gave me access to a stimulus check. No, he didn't. He did not give you any money. He did not give you absolutely anything. He played the game and he understood how the show works. So he just sticks to the same script over and over and over again, even to the point of taking from scripts from actual movies and shows. Like literally, like some of the things that he does it comes from entertainment because it is entertainment. So we can't ever get to the point where we believe that revolution happens through these sort of voter unalive tactics, or what's the new one, that the Project 2025 thing. Like, yes, these are all things that you need to look into. These are all things that you need to be informed about and aware of. That is not where the change happens at all whatsoever. You have to be willing to be boots on the ground, be willing to see, unfortunately, some might.
Hey, we just gonna say some bad might happen. That's all. Some bad might happen.
Some bad stuff might happen in order for you to see the level of revolution that you need in order to get access to the things that you need. But it will not happen through hoping that you pray pray for the kind of politician that has a moral compass. Those people do not. They don't exist.
Even the ones with moral compasses come in and get corrupted. It happens every single time. Even y'all, look, man. Y'all don't believe me? Go look up old videos of Nancy Pelosi when she first got in the office. when she didn't have a wrinkle on her face. Go look up Nancy Pelosi and listen to how she was talking. Nancy Pelosi was like, "We need to get health care for all. We need to." I was like, in the 90s? Wow, that's Nancy, like, couldn't believe it. And then listen to Nancy Pelosi now. She won't even call for a vote on she wouldn't call for a vote on the floor. She wouldn't even let them vote on it. AOC, same thing. She bought and paid for it now. Jamal Bowman just got swept up out of, like, I'm telling you, these people, even if they're good intention, once they get in, you don't change the system changes you. You become like the system, or you leave it. That's the only way, bro. Like, let's be honest. Y'all like they like the police, thinking you gonna become a police officer and change the LAPD from the inside. You an idiot. I'm sorry. That's dumb. They ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You want to change the LAPD? Outside only. You got to attack it from the outside. There is no Trojan horse. There is no Trojan horse that exists. I'm telling you, the LAPD has had many a scandal. The whatever PD across in your state has had many a scandal and has never been brought down. The apparatus that is the police department, policing in America, has had many a scandal since its inception of being slave catchers, and it has never been brought down. You can't do it. You got to tear the whole system down. There's no changing it. You got to tear it down. It was bad. At its root, it was bad. It was planted in bad soil. It's always going to be bad, right? But real quick, since we speaking of crowdfunding and all of that stuff, Bang the Cash App one time, y'all. Crowdfund your boy. Hey, man, I'm a socialist. I'm a communist. But let's practice a little socialism right now. Bang the Cash App, $1 to do is 500 people in here. It's 190 people on the YouTubes. I appreciate y'all, man. We got 157,000 likes.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but the last thing I wanted to say is about the point that you just made, which was like very spot on. The other thing is, it's illogical to think that you're going to vote somebody in or you're going to send somebody in a system that's corrupt. So you telling me you think, because I got the Detroit police, and the irony of the Detroit police is predominantly black.
Mm-hmm.
You think that you about to send somebody in who is supposed to disrupt the system around a bunch of people who have either been operating in a corrupt system or who are perpetuating a corrupt system, and that person is going to survive?
Ain't gonna happen.
You think that person is going to be able to freely move within a system that is already corrupt, that people have accepted as corrupt? Like either you're accepting it or you're perpetuating it. But you think that you're going to send somebody in that room full of den, they are sheep, and you're sending them in the wolves' den, and you think that they're going to come out unscathed. That has got to be the weirdest logic, and I think that that's the part that makes me most angry about politics, is that now we're at the point now where within this week, the one thing that stood out the most to me is that people have been saying, I've heard a lot of people, and y'all know I go to church, so I got the real tea on what be happening in the sanctuary, child. Too many people talking about praying for Trump. Too many people who I don't know that go to church, who consider themselves revolutionary, who are saying, well, we can't condone things like this. We can't say that, something like this is acceptable. Yes, we can. Last week you told me that this man threatened my life and my liberty, that if I voted for him, that would mean the end of my being able to have access to humanity. And now this week you're telling me I shouldn't wish what on him?
And also, he the commander in chief, and look at how he unaliving people all around the. I'm not no eye for an eye. That's not even what I'm saying. But I mean, a certain eye, depending on who eye we talking about.
But an eye for an eye is okay if you took my eye.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like well, but if you also, what if you taking 100 million eyes? Even you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, take that one eye for 100 million eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
I think we're saying the same thing though. Like
that
people think that taking his
appreciate
eye
you, honey.
means that somehow you're the person that's wrong, when the reality is you did just save 100 million eyes.
Yeah, that's yeah. Taking that one eye, yeah.
Taking that one.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that this person is a direct threat to me. I tried to neutralize the threat, and now you're telling me, oh well, no, we didn't mean that. We meant just have a little talk with him. I'm not negotiating with nobody who wants me unalive, who wants to see me literally rot, who wants to see my family disenfranchised for generations. I don't want to.
Ain't no conversation with him. I don't want to sit at the table with him and be like, can you see me as a human being? And like, what are we talking about? That's a crazy conversation. That's a wild conversation to have. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't be understanding what y'all want. Like, do y'all really want to talk to these people? Because I don't want to talk to them. That's why y'all know this is most of I talked about politics on my. I don't like talking about it with people. It's boring to me, honestly. This is entertaining right now because we've been having it from a different angle. But like, generally speaking, I don't like talking about electoral politics ever. I have no interest in it whatsoever at this point. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna do whatever. I ain't about to say I ain't voting for no Democrat. I ain't voting for no Republican. Just know that if somebody asks me what I'm voting for, I ain't voting for Democrat or Republican. Whatever. I'll vote on my policies. I'll do whatever when it comes to. I don't care. I don't want to vote for Trump. You want to vote for Biden. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do with that. Have it your way, like Burger King. I don't like having those discussions personally. Do I see there's a need for them? Yeah, absolutely. There's an argument to be made, yada, yada, yada. I'm there. I've graduated. That's all I'm saying. Like, I graduated from that train of thought, and I'm good. I'm over here. I would rather talk about, what are we going to do from the outside, right? Like, we got to do something. We got to do something.
I think that we always end up at this conclusion somewhere within your life anytime we have a conversation. I think the hood in us for sure is just like, I'm tired of talking. I don't want to talk to you multiple times about the same thing, and I've asked you to fix a thing, and I've asked you to do a thing, and you're not doing it. Either we talk one time and I express to you what it is I desire and what it is, I'm putting my foot down about what it is I expect. If you're not listening to that at that point, especially if we're adversaries, there is no more talking. First of all, you're lucky I had that first conversation. Mm-hmm. You were lucky for that first conversation. The second conversation is not a conversation. Either we pulling up. That's it. I done already called my family. I done called my people. My cousins is on the way. We not, the Vaseline is out and the blade is inside of my mouth. We not talking no more. There's no more conversation to be had because you've already toyed too much with my emotions and my life. And now I know that you are a direct threat to me being able to breathe. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that me and my family breathe. And if that means that you will be susceptible to whatever it is that you're susceptible to, that's what that is. But we're not about to talk about this no more.
Nah, I just want to point out, somebody said I'm safe in Cali. Mimi, I'm not safe in Cali. Cali is just the best of the worst. it's still in America. We got Gavin Newsom. Look, man, California has had a Democratic. We've had a Democrat controlled House, Democrat led Senate in our state, and we still haven't had a vote on healthcare in our state, and we are the wealthiest state in the union by far, and we can't get healthcare in our state. California is trash. California is actually a microcosm of America when you think about it. Like, we got all the money and all the resources, but we do nothing with it. And we're just really good at like the weather's nice and we can go to the beach and we can eat at In-N-Out and oh man, we got bomb tacos, but like it's all these distractions. You know what I'm saying? Like to keep you occupied whole time. They robbing you. You know what I'm saying? They oppressing the hell out of you. The school districts is messed up. Like it's crazy. I'm like, all this money we spending out here, what are we doing? Why can't my son go to UCLA for free? Why can't my son go to Cal State Long Beach for free? In California? Maybe not in Iowa. maybe not in Montana, even though I wouldn't agree. But I'm saying maybe not in Montana. But in Cali, my son should be able to go to UC Irvine for free. He should be able to go to Berkeley for free. I'm sorry, like that shit is crazy. Why is it so competitive? What are y'all doing? What is going on?
All that money out there and people staying on the street. You know what I mean?
I got to step over people. You go downtown LA, you have to walk over people, bro. Like, it's like, there's homeless people that live, there are unhoused people that live right by the park that takes 2 minutes for me to walk to, right? Literally, I walk out of my house, there's a park right there, and there's encampments behind the park, like there's tents and stuff. There's always somebody sleeping over there, right here.
Right, yeah. So I break that down like MJ was in here earlier, and then I got to jump off of here, but like I try to relate it to $1 million. Let's just say $1 million was all the money in the United States, right? What the capitalist market got us doing is fighting over $100 right now. Me, you, everybody, we're fighting over $100, and it's $1 million out there. But the capitalists are holding all of that money, and we just fighting over these scraps. Y'all need to make $100,000. We need to get you $20. No. There's enough to go around. There's enough to be there. It's just the system that's in place. That's why we're operating inside this system. We're voting for one or the other. Neither one of them's good for everybody.
Or most people. I just want to, hey man, hey, if I vote, I'm good with it 85%. If you rocking with 85% of us, I got you. You got some policies in place that's going to uplift 85% of us. I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna vote for you. But none of these people, none of them gonna do it if they get in. You know, they're not gonna use their pulpit to actually, like, you know what I'm saying, to like really do the work. Like, I already know. So I'm like, like I said, you vote for a Democrat, you unalive him by cancer. You vote for a Republican, you unalive him from a pew to the brain.
Right.
Either way, you know what I'm saying? The Democrats is gonna stretch. The Democrats is like putting your shit on layaway. You still paying the same amount of money though, right? Like, it's like putting your shit on layaway, right? They're gonna say, hey, we'll give you a payment plan. You can stretch it out over 6 weeks, and by the time Christmas gets here, you should be on your last payment. You can pay it out. You got to start paying it in the beginning of November. Pay it off the week before Christmas. You go, all right, cool. That's the Democratic strategy. That's the Democrat strategy. Either way, you paying the same $150 for the product. Either way, they just stretching it out. So you want to pay through Klarna or you want to pay it all up front on the MasterCard. But you're getting whacked over the head either way. That's what I don't be understanding.
Yeah. Somebody said in the comments about the student forgiveness and all that. That's kind of what we're talking about. We're arguing over a very minuscule policy change when there should be no student loans to begin with. The government got it on front. They can make sure that everybody can be educated. Just education is, and that's, I wanted to talk to HNIC about that. We're not diseducation. We're not against education.
Of course not.
But education is not going to fix the problem because we have enough educated people. We're just still operating inside of that. We're fighting over that $100.
Yep.
Are we educated in doing it?
I think we know.
You know what I mean?
I've been saying that we know. Yeah, free me. It's a political lie. We got on the lie. She asked if it's a political lie. Yeah, we started talking about the economy And once you start talking about the economy, politics is sure to follow every single time. The politics affect the economy. I'm glad we got here though. I like the palate cleansing political things because I don't get to talk about it that much. I don't go into the political lives anymore. I go on Mr. Jones live and watch him sometimes, but that's about it. I can't. I watch my boy Friend of the People. I watch Seven sometimes, but I can't really do it, man. They be pissing me off. The political TikTok be pissing me off. I ain't gonna even lie. I'll be mad as hell in there. Like, damn, we still fighting over this shit.
I watch Jones like doggone Desperate Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, I'll be watching. That's what I'm saying. I'll be watching this live. I'm like, oh, okay, I can get with this, but yeah, it's wild, man.
I'm back and forth. I gotta be in there so long before I gotta scoot on out.
It make you mad. You be in there, you be like, man, here they go. Here this.
Right. I'm like, again, we talking about this again,
all over again.
Over this? Damn. Why you want to cut your own leg off, man? That don't make no sense.
It's crazy.
It don't make no sense.
Nikita, go ahead. I know you've been waiting. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but what's up?
Chilling.
Everybody. Actually, I'm like you, Pub. I don't talk politics because, like you, it's frustrating. Everybody want to get their point across. A lot of people don't understand the system, don't understand how things work. So I just kind of veer away from that topic altogether as well. Actually, I wanted to discuss the prompt and kind of go back a little bit, if that's okay. And one point that you made where you said that men blaming women specifically for taking their jobs, which is weird to me. I don't know how a person can just take a job. But I had a little story. I'm going to try to make it brief for you so that they can understand in real time how it works. Personally, I was offered a position because, one, I had 5 degrees. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, being well educated plus having experience, I was offered a position with the understanding that the person that was working in another, IT position was going to work under me. In reality, they hired me but conspired together in the executive office and the upper management leadership that they were going to eliminate the other guy's position and put me in his position with a higher pay, if that makes sense. And they changed my title, which I had nothing to do with that. I didn't know until I started the position. But when they let that guy go, he was pissed, obviously. And of course, he was pissed at me. On top of the fact that his girlfriend, now wife, was also working with him in the same office. And she was mad at me. So I was getting all the negative, ass stares. And she was just really nasty towards me because they both felt that I came in, not only being a woman, but a Black woman. And he was another race, and took his job. I'm like, first of all, I was told that he was going to work under me, which he didn't like that either. But I wasn't the one who came in to take your position. You need to talk to your male counterparts. They got together and made the decision that you weren't competent enough to stay in that position. And not only was I more qualified, I had more experience as to where they were trying to take the company. So that right there is proof that, yes, men do blame women for taking their, and I'm throwing up quote signs, taking their positions. I didn't take your position, sir. They took it from you because you weren't qualified enough.
Mm-hmm. And also they be wanting to just save money, so they'll get rid of a position and just make you do some of their work and make somebody else do some of their work, and you never knew because they just hired you. So it ain't like you like, man, I'm doing more work than it. Like they just put it, like weave it into your new position and then give some of the work to somebody else and save money. They do it all the time. Happens all the time.
Yes, sir. Yeah, probably, but I'm smarter than that. When I peeped that, because I did. So you want me to be the new director of business systems and do DBA work? Nah, I put in a request to get a person, and lo and behold, they hired another DBA that works under me.
Nice. You
so
caught it.
All in all, they got rid of you because you weren't qualified enough. It had nothing to do with the fact that, I was a woman. It had nothing to do with that. You just weren't qualified. And I agree with you. If a lot of men just leveled up and did what they had to do to get higher pay and or keep their positions, because in his case, he had been there for like 15, 20 years, and you haven't done any professional development. You're content in your role. You're not learning anything new in the systems. So what do you expect for them to do when they're trying to change the platform and move it into another direction? AI, should I say, which I'm not real happy about that. That's a whole nother conversation. But that's where where they're going with the company. So, again, you're blaming a woman and even had his girlfriend come for it, because I had to put her in her place too. Don't play with me. So now, she my good girlfriend now, though.
Oh, that's good.
She see that I do a better job than what her boyfriend did, or husband, should I say?
She was like, "Oh, you did that. That's cool. Hey, man, you gotta love that when people be hating at first and then they stop hating. I love it. I love it when the hate stop. It feels better. But oh my God, hey Jackson Carter, hi Duty Bear. My son just came in here busting in the door like gangbangers, gangbusters. Hey, come here. Hi. Your shirt's on backwards. Your shirt's on backwards. Oh, that guy. Ghostbusters, gangbusters. I'm in gangbusters. Anyways, hey man, 165,000 likes. Let's see if we can get over 200,000. I'm in it for the long haul. I would very much don't judge my baby. Do not judge my baby. His shirt was on backwards. He's still cute though. Don't worry about that. Only I get to tell him his shirt on backwards. He don't know. That shirt don't have tags either. I put that shirt on my other son. I was looking at it. I was like, there ain't no writing on the back part. It looked like it could go either way. I don't know what they did, man. They was tripping though. It's a nice shirt. Yeah, he just doing him, brother. He living. But yeah, let's see if we can get back on topic, if that's okay. Cool. I got my little electoral politics jargon out for the time being. I feel good. I feel pacified now. Would any of you want to address the board? Nikita already did. BPG, would you like to address the prompt?
I think it's hilarious. I think what Nikita said, using her example, is a prime example of why it is men feel like the economy is worse for men. It seems that way, but it's not actually that way, because now they have to share in that power, in that influence, and in that access. Like, they have to share the things that traditionally they've been able to attain without any question. Like, because of the fact that they have a weenus, like, they are able to do a whole lot of things without anybody questioning their abilities. And now you have women coming to the table who have abilities that far outreach their male counterparts. Like, forget, even being the same. A lot of women, when they come into the table, they are exceeding what their male counterparts offer. So it's almost as if, a lot of companies at this point, I think, are giving up on the idea of being like, you know what, I'm gonna put this man in space. They like, look, I done looked at this lady's resume. She is overqualified. Like, there is no reason why we shouldn't take her. And they know that essentially a lot of them are still paying these women less than what they were, but they know that by paying her a little bit more than what they would pay him, the level of expertise that they get is so wildly different that they're willing to take the chance. And a lot of guys are intimidated by that. I've talked about many times how, I work in the film industry, and a lot of my male counterparts, when I'm around them, they are intimidated. Like, what she said was so, unbelievably spot on. Now, I ain't got no 5 degrees, child. I'm trying to just work through this second one. I'm fighting for my life too. But I understand the sentiment, though, of being overqualified for a position, because a lot of my male counterparts, for one, they don't feel the need to even have a degree that is entered in film, because they don't feel like they need the knowledge base. But then on top of that, they usually specialize in one. And for a lot of men, they have relied on specializing in that one area. And they feel like as long as I'm an expert right there, I'll always have whatever it is I want. I always have access to whatever it is I want to do because I'm an expert here. But you have to, in this economy and in this day and age, you have to be able to specialize in multiple things. You do have to be a jack of all trades, master of none kind of person, because of the fact that there are just so many people out here who are competing for the same positions. And unfortunately for dudes, they finding themselves in a space where the women are coming in overqualified, they look cute while they doing it, and they can't handle the idea that now they have to compete for what was given to them before.
Yeah. Well, when they could just, it was a lot of the ways that men operated in these spaces was as if it was their birthright. Like all they had to do was just show up and the job was theirs and, you know, whatever. But now, like I said yesterday, though, yeah, women are being in the workforce. Women are definitely more competition, but that's not the problem. The problem isn't that women are creating a more competitive job market. Also, isn't that a good thing for everybody when the competition is higher? Isn't that what capitalism is all about? So they say, right? The competition is high, so that's going to create better outcomes because the competition is high, right? But for some reason, when your competitor is a woman, now all of a sudden competition isn't a good thing. That's the thing. That's the thing that I'm not.
It's a horrible thing when you got to compete with a woman. Nothing cracks me up more, and I think that's the part that I love the most. I had a coworker who would get so pissed off at me because I like long nails. I love getting my nails done. That's my
I'm gonna
thing.
rotate you, Nikita.
And he would be so mad because I would have to lift 400, 500, 600 pounds worth of equipment on a consistent basis. He would be so mad because I would come on set and I would still be, appropriately dressed for set, at least for set attire. He would be so mad because I would come in with my long nails and I had my lashes done and my makeup done and I would look like a girl, the quintessential girl. But I'm coming in, I'm lifting more than the dudes. I know more than the dudes. So I know I can set your camera up. I can move your equipment. I can adjust your lighting. I can rig all of your electrical. And I can shoot with the camera. I can set up I don't know if I can say the actual word. I don't mean, that, but I can set up the camera. I can operate it. And now you're intimidated because of the fact that I've done it. And what you see is very, socially feminine. That's what you see on the surface. But what I actually am and what I'm able to do is more than what you're able to do. And for a lot of men, they do find that threatening, and they associate the fact that because the economy is in disarray, they associate it with the fact that women are having access to these jobs. Like they associate the fact that they don't have the capabilities to withstand being able to do these many things because they haven't, they either have been disenfranchised, which is not the fault of a woman, but they've either been disenfranchised or they didn't take that lead and actually go and study more facets of what it is they do. So they blame women for the reason why they don't have access. So if they were really, the economy is worse for men now than it was before. But if they really were doing a deep dive and willing to understand why, the conclusion would not be women. The conclusion would be the thing that MJ was up here fighting for, which is capitalism. You would get to the bottom of the fact that the reason why you're disenfranchised has everything to do with how the system is designed and nothing to do with whether or not a woman is within that system with you.
You landed BPG, or is it my sound?
Yeah, no, I'm finna walk in the Carters.
Okay, so hey y'all, Jeff, Mr. Jones, BPG, my favorite person on this app.
Hey, man.
You know what? I was hearing what y'all were saying about the different, I guess, where the divide comes, and somebody said it in the comments, like literally men will complain about women coming to take their jobs or women taking their jobs, but when their job asks them to go and get an advanced degree or more education or certification, they don't do it. You see what I'm saying? So it's easy for a woman to come in and take your job when she's more qualified, essentially. Child, I'm here for a good time and not a long time, y'all. I got to get back to studying and all that stuff so I can get this advanced degree to keep outdoing these men's, keep my foot on their necks. But anyways, but yeah, so it just boggles my mind because I think on what's his face, Skeet Lilly. He said that the women coming in and they taking our jobs from us. And I'm like, if a woman can come in and take your job, sir, you're not qualified. And why not go and get the continued education, the certification? Shit, go get an AA. I mean, it's not that hard. Girls do it. Okay? Like, and then somebody was on the live yesterday talking about that women should give men more grace because they had to jump off the porch at 18 and learn the world for themselves and blah, blah, blah. And they, pretty much they didn't get the same opportunities as women. And I'm like, so you really going to equate you choosing to run the streets instead of not going to college on a woman? Make that make sense. Let's just say we both had a choice and you made the choice at the time that you thought was best, and now you're living with the consequences of that choice because now you're behind in life, and women are significantly more ahead of you. That's how they're able to come on a job and take your job.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it just like the conversation yesterday was one that grinded my gears, and I couldn't get up here because I had a lot of stuff going on. Y'all know I'm moving. But I just heard a bunch of whining and a bunch of excuses. And I'm thinking, I grew up poor. Both my parents only had a high school education. My grandma had a high school education. Like my family not degrees, so I'm technically the first person in my family to get a degree. So if you have all these odds that you have to overcome, and then y'all talk about how y'all are the leaders and y'all resilient and y'all alphas and y'all this, then why is it so hard to go and educate yourself and level up?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's why
if it's not that hard and girls can do it, why don't you go do it?
Well, y'all have an advantage, Kay.
Yeah, I got an answer.
Y'all got it.
Y'all got an advantage.
Y'all got an advantage. I'm gonna tell you y'all advantage. I said it earlier.
Women, I'm pretty.
Maybe that too, but not like not you got an advantage when you come out. Women have an advantage the same way black people had an advantage at one point in time, and we still do. Because when oppressed groups of people are oppressed, we be the shit. Like underneath all of it, we be like diamonds. You know what I'm saying? We just be needing our time to shine. And then as soon as you remove the, like give us like a little sliver of an opportunity, we in there. We rushing it, we bum rushing the door, we taking advantage because we've been sitting back this whole time becoming these really dope people. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to become good people. We had to do all of this stuff anyway. So we was doing it all on our own, and it was like, oh damn, you just telling me I can come in here and do whatever. Oh, cool. Bet. You know what I'm saying? Like cool. Like same. I bet BPG when she went to trying to do what BPG does when you don't have access to equipment, it's fucking crazy, right? But I bet when it was like, oh, you can go to college and you get to touch the equipment and play, she was like, oh, this is cool. This is what it is. This is a dream come true. It was like easy for her now. But when she was growing up and she just had a passion for it, and you growing up and you working class and you ain't got all the money in the world to buy the top tier camera and da-da-da-da-da, she had an advantage, right? She had an advantage. Now, she made the advantage for herself, don't get me wrong, but she had the advantage. And I feel like that's what's happening with women. Y'all got an advantage right now because y'all are like diamonds. Y'all have all this pressure all the time, and the women just formulating, becoming all these great people. Y'all got all these tools and stuff like that because you got to literally get it out of the mud all the time. And as soon as somebody just extends like a little bit of help, y'all be like, oh, cool. We like, We leveling up. Like, it's just like level up. You know what I mean? It's like, then the men like, oh, how they doing this so fast? Like, brother, while y'all was shucking and jiving, and the world was treating us like Bronny James, right? Men was on some LeBron and Bronny James type shit. Like, oh, I got you, brother. We'll get you in. We'll get you in the door. We know you're not qualified. We know you're underqualified, right? But Bronny James playing against some dude from whatever saltwater Florida, playing on broken hoops. You know what I'm saying? playing. You know what I mean? Like, really had to get it out the mud type dude. He gonna get smacked. He gonna get smacked versus the dude that's like, I can't go back. Like, there's no, like, what you want me to go back to saltwater Florida? There's no way I'm going back. There's no chance I'm going back. I'm gonna die on this court. And that's what I feel like women are on some, like, there ain't no turning back. Like, what y'all, you think I'm gonna go back to the kitchen? You think I'm gonna go back to y'all boots being on my neck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really think we gonna go back? Nah, we not going back to that. No.
And my thing, what's keeping me in school single-handedly is, shit, I got to pay these student loans anyway. I might as well finish, because you think I'm not feeling overwhelmed when I got the baby on one titty and I got books on my lap? Like, you think that's not overwhelming? That's not hard? That's not...
Oh, also, y'all got that too. Y'all got the ability to multitask. Y'all be like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's natural. I don't know if that's nature and nurture. It be feeling like some natural shit going on, though. But y'all being able to have a baby on the boob and go to school and go to work, I don't know, man. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's the thing, though. I'm joking. But that's the thing, though. They had to set the system up to oppress women, because if you left everybody to their own devices, women would thrive. And they know that. And you can't, and when women thrive, you can't steal their labor, and you can't, make them wife slaves, and you can't force them, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they know that that's what it, when I say they, I'm saying, like I already pointed out before, the bourgeoisie, the ruling class, the political class, the capitalists, so on and so forth, and the proletariat men, the working class men, because we want access to K, we want access to BPG, we want access to CETA, that's what we want. We want access to y'all, right? And these oligarchs promised us access. They promised us our very own wife slave. And we know that in times like these, when this is the dynamic, and it don't even got to be this, to be honest with you. It could be the economy is good for men and the economy is good for women. Or the economy is bad for men and the economy is bad for, you know what I'm saying? It could be either way, but if there's not an imbalance, where it's tilted in the favor of men, women ain't signing up for that shit. That's it. Like, that's what it comes down to. If it's not tilted in one way towards the men, women ain't signing up for that shit. Y'all, men the shit is like a teeter-totter. The shit is like it's like you sat on this balancing beam. Men sat on it, and all the women started to slide towards the men, and the men are like, see, I'm just a magnet for. It's like, brother, you tilted the scales. We tipped the scales. That's what happened. Stop acting like you did something. You didn't do nothing. We're forcing them in our direction. We're trying to corral them in this group and put them in this pen and control them or whatever. And the women are like, no, I'm not gonna be in the pen, man. Like, I'm gonna get out. If you let me out, I'm gonna run away. And that's what it is. And every single time we open up the gate a little bit, the women run away. And right now, what we're seeing is the political apparatus trying to correct that, and they're trying to find the woman. They're trying to find the women. They're trying to bring them back in, right? The women are out. Y'all in the wilderness. Y'all grazing. Y'all doing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing y'all thing. They like, where are the men? Where are the women's at? We got to go find them. We got to bring them back in. So let's change this policy. Let's do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we gonna make them. They gonna have to carry all the babies a full term. Oh, we gonna take away their voting rights. We gonna make it one vote per house. We gonna do, like, they gonna do it. They gonna try to do it as best as they can. And that's what's happening right now.
Bugs say you tokenizing women, but I'm just trying to figure out where has complaining and griping about shit ever got you? Like, if the solution is just to do it and you can do it, you're just as capable as a woman, just do it then. Like, what the fuck y'all be in the comments fighting for y'all life, yapping for it, talking about women have it easier and women have it this, when y'all have secret whisper, y'all have a dick, so y'all have a leg up anyway. Like, come on, man.
I think y'all like to use this woman said I'm tokenizing women. How am I tokenizing women?
No, chick or a dude?
That's a dude. I mean, that's a girl, but she's saying I'm tokenizing women. Explain it. Because y'all like to throw words out there that I don't be thinking y'all actually let me know. Tell me. I'm listening. Tell me. Oh, you want to come up here? There we go. I didn't know you were in the queue.
Hey.
Hello.
Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm female. But the reason why I was saying what you were saying earlier was tokenizing, was saying that like we had an advantage, or like insinuating that we have some kind of like, it's not like superpower, but like we're just able to do that. And what I was saying in the comments was that like it's not an advantage like when we have to do these things. An advantage would be just having things handed to us without the qualifications and certifications and all that like a lot of men get, right? So that's where I was coming from when I said that. Yeah,
I said specifically that it's the work that women have done. It's not an inherent, it's not an innate thing. I said that women, the advantage, it came from women being forced to do everything on their own. So whenever we offered them like the tools to do something, or whenever we like women, I'm just making like an example. I'm saying like women taught themselves how to read, right? And they taught themselves how to read in darkness, and there was no light around. And then now they're in a system where not only is there light, but they have access to a library. You see what I'm saying? So you put women in that situation, the same people that was learning how to read in the dark, and you go, oh, now you can read in the light, and you have a library. You got a whole room full of books to go read. Those people flourish. That's the advantage. But they created it. I wasn't saying that it just came out of thin air, or they were born with it.
No, I got you now.
Yeah.
I guess I misunderstood that. Like, I'm also autistic, so like I don't understand like I have a lot of issues with some like social stuff. So that was like, I guess, an area where I like struggled with that or something. But
yeah, good. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, bud.
Take care.
Mm-hmm.
Can I speak on that right quick?
Hold on, let me read this super chat. I got you. My Shining Star, appreciate the super chat. She said, men don't want a better world, but superiority. Exactly. They want a better world just for men. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, so the first thing was kind of like how you and I talked about just growing up broke, right? Just growing up without, right? So like the pandemic or being without a lot of money resources like that, I can do that. That's not a problem, right? And so women being oppressed systemically over time, right? As soon as the oppression lets up a little bit, it's like, oh no, we got this. We can work within our same bounds that we were before. Like that's the way I operate now. Some of the things from childhood and early life bleed over into me being 30-some years old. It still stick with me. I still got them broke tendencies at times, right? But also, I believe that the system was set up for mediocre whitey fellas, right? Mm-hmm. And I see that in my groups of people and who I deal with and stuff like that. They don't want to do better, so therefore they don't want to release any oppression, because when things are more equal, then there's more competition, mm-hmm. and the person that's already winning by default doesn't want competition. Then they actually have to do something. Like They actually have to go get a degree. They actually have to work at their job. They just can't.
They actually have to be a better person. They actually got to be a better person.
Yeah, they can't do 6 out of 10 and be like, "No, that's good enough. That's good enough."
Mm-hmm.
But see, it's like, even from that perspective, it's like, I think that's what a lot of men, like the mentality a lot of men have, is that's it's just good enough, right? The bare minimum is just good enough. Well, at least I do more than the other guy, so I think just carrying that over into every aspect of your life can be harmful to you as a whole. Because, if just enough is good enough, you're never going to strive for better. Because, I think Public was saying earlier about, certain people weren't affected by the pandemic in that they still had a job, they were able to work remotely, so their income wasn't affected, versus people who were getting laid off. They're at stake for eviction and things like that. Like
people that got sick, people that got sick and died.
Right. So it's like there's vast differences in how people internalized what happened during the pandemic based on how they were directly affected or not affected. So all of a sudden, the people who weren't affected, there's no issue. There's not a problem. So I think that's how men kind of go through life, because they're not affected by a lot of things in real time. It's not an issue for them. They don't see the parallel of, I'm oppressing women too. I'm helping them oppress women. I'm helping them oppress, LGBTQIA people. You know what I'm saying? They're not even realizing how they're participating in the oppression, because again, they're not directly being affected by the oppression. Even though they are, but they don't even realize it, because you know what I'm saying? It ain't stopped them from working. They could just work remote. They could just, whatever the case may be, they actually were able to get shipped off with their job and make more money. You know what I'm saying? So,
a lot of people during the pandemic, when they got sent home to work from home, a lot of them moved to a lot of people from Cali moved out of state, but they kept making their Cali money, and a lot of them moved out of state and bought houses in other states. Moved to Austin, moved to Vegas or whatever the case may be. They were like, shoot, you gonna let me work from home and make $125 grand? Easy.
But I think a lot of men too found out through the pandemic that and men, let's be clear, to add a little caveat before I say that part. Men have always operated in a space where their innovation, their ideas, the things that they are able to accomplish has always been on the backs of women. They have always lived in that space where they have a woman who's doing all of the things that they don't have to do in order to survive as a human, cleaning their homes, cooking for their kids, she's picking up the slack even, when he's lacking a little bit. You hear about those old school grandmas who was selling candy or doing psychic readings or, doing stuff in the back of the house, selling dinners, because she was helping him make ends meet. And he was just doing that one job. And he really thought that he was holding up the household, when the reality is that lady was absolutely, like you said yesterday, she was the alpha. She was the one making everything happen, but she allowed him to believe that he was, he was really in charge, because that's what society was telling him, that his one little job was helping keep his family afloat, when she was quite literally in the entire boat. She was the boat and the life jacket and everything. Other than that, for so long, there were a lot of men who had a wake-up call during the pandemic. Can y'all hear me? My bird's kind of low. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Oh, there were a lot of guys who had a wake-up call during the pandemic. And honestly, I'm thankful that my husband has always been very, very helpful with our kids, more helpful than most men. But I don't think until the pandemic, he realized how dire a situation it was. Because when his job went remote and he had to be home, and he had to see everything that was going on while he would usually be at work, he was like, how have you not lost your mind? Being at home with these doggone kids all day. He was like, it's exhausting. And I understand the sentiment behind, there are some days where you can just get a whole bunch done, and laundry is done, and dinner is done, and grocery shopping, and school, and all kind of stuff. But there are some days where mentally, forget physically, mentally you're so exhausted that you don't even have the capacity to be able to get up and do things, because it's that exhausting. And I think for a lot of men, they're finding themselves in a space where they not only are losing out on opportunities because the weenus ain't working no more, but they also have to do things that they had traditionally wrote off as women's jobs, and they're realizing how exhausting it is. They are finding out the hard way. We have so many dudes come up here and tell us that they taking care of their kids and they doing this and they doing that, and you know, the least she could do. No, not the least she could do, because she was doing it the whole time. The whole time that she was trying to take care of you, she was taking care of kids, the house, and herself, all simultaneously. And you just didn't see that she was exhausted from it because you thought that that's what she was supposed to do. And you didn't see her as a human being or as a partner. You saw her as a resource. You're emotional. She's your piece. So she's giving herself emotionally. She's giving herself physically by cleaning your home and taking care of your kids. She's giving herself financially because even if she's not bringing in the money, she's planning where the money goes. Yep. She's the one that's at, because you're at work. You work 12, 16-hour days like they like to brag about. If you're working 12 to 16-hour days, you're not sitting down and trying to figure out when the gas bill needs to be paid or when the water bill needs to be paid. She's doing that part too, and distributing money for after school activities and clothes and your drawers and baby drawers. Like she's doing all the things at once, and because she does them well, you think that she's supposed to do them, and you think that you're that's beneath you to do. But unfortunately, that's what they gonna see the tide continue to shift that way, because there are more women who choose not to be mothers at all. They don't want to be mothers. They don't want to be wives at all. And for men, that is a dire situation. For women, that gives them access to humanity. And like you said earlier, you mean to tell me that I get a little taste of freedom and now you want to take that away from me because you want a wife? And you want to continue your legacy, which you haven't even told me what the heck that is. I don't know what your legacy is, but you want to preserve it so bad that you're going to use my body as collateral damage? I don't think so. I would rather just go ahead and be by myself, educate myself. I got friends, I got family, I got a sister that can't stop. Every woman that I just about know that don't have kids got a sister or cousin that can't stop having kids. And so if they want some baby juices, they can go squeeze a baby real quick, drop that baby back off and go home and go to sleep. So women aren't finding themselves trapped in those spaces anymore. And I think that men are panicking. Like, I think that they literally they are screaming and crying and running around in circles buck naked with their wings in the air because they can't figure out how to trap more women into being in relationships with them like their grandfathers and their fathers could.
Just in time. Hey, I'm about to end this live. We on our third hour and 31st minute.
We knew it was getting close when you was eating. We knew that.
But I'm about to restart the live, just so y'all know. But I'm about to end this live, and I'm gonna restart another live with a new prompt because I don't like doing two prompts on the same live. Huh? Yeah. So y'all can come back. Y'all can come back on the YouTubes. I will spin the block. New prompt. It's coming. But I like this prompt. This is a good prompt. I might have to bring.
I don't like when you eat either, bro. I started to tell you that.
Hey man, where you been? Where your ass been?
Being a single dad.
Where the hell was your antennas at an hour ago? I was like jumping on mute.
Being a single dad.
Hey, I like that, man. Sailor Goon, come up. Come back on the next one. Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all rocking with me, though. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know it's all love. Spin the block in a minute with your boy. I'm eating some Tic Tacs right now. Tic Tacs is my favorite candy. Don't ask me why. But I like smashing on these sometimes. Hey. RDA. Y'all didn't see me eat? I ate quick. I like orange ones. I like tropicals. I like the Sprite flavor ones. All the fruity ones. They sound like Skittles. I appreciate y'all on the YouTubes. Thanks for everybody that sent the super chat. Shout out to Nicole, PR. No edit said it. PR again. My shining star twice. Yasmin, I appreciate you. Thanks for the super sticker, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna spin the block. Yeah, they got Sprite flavored. They got Sprite flavored Tic Tacs. If y'all don't know, you know now. Appreciate y'all over there.